You may begin, Chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a regular meeting of the Newark Zoning Board of Adjustment. Today's date is Thursday, May 12th, 2026. The purpose of this meeting is to hear requests for variances from the Newark zoning and land use regulations under authority of the municipal land use law. If you're an applicant for a D or use variance, you should be aware that such a variance can only be granted after showing that special reasons for the grant of the variance exist and that the variance can be granted without substantial detriment to the zoning plan of the city of Newark. You should also be aware that in order to be granted such a variance, you require an affirmative vote of 5 members of the 7-member Board of Adjustment. Other variances require a majority of 4 votes to grant the variance. If you're an applicant for any variance and your variance is denied by this board, you have a right to appeal to the Superior Court of the State of New Jersey within 45 days of notice of the decision, and that court may overturn the decision of this board. If you're an objector to any type of variance and the variance is granted, you too may appeal to the Superior Court of the State of New Jersey within 45 days of decision of this board. If you do file an appeal, I ask that you please provide a copy of your complaint with all supporting documentation to the zoning board secretary. Pursuant to the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, also known as the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by notifying the Star Ledger, the Jersey Journal, the Newark City Clerk, and posting a copy on the bulletin board in the basement of Newark City Hall. In addition to adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this remote public meeting, as permitted by statute, was placed on the City of Newark's website. Members of the public may notify the host that you would like to ask questions or make statements by using the raised hand feature on the bottom of your computer screen or mobile device. If you are calling on the telephone, you can press *9 to alert us. We will, of course, tell you when the appropriate time to make questions or make a statement is. Also, the zoning board is a quasi-judicial board. If an appeal is taken, we have to provide a copy of the official transcript to the Superior Court. Things in the chat are not part of the official transcript. So we want to make sure that any questions you have, the answers to those questions, and any statements you make are part of the official transcript. So I'd ask you to refrain from using the chat since it's not part of the official transcript. Also, when you use the chat, it pops up in front of all of us. It's kind of disruptive, much like talking out loud, out of time, if we were meeting in person. So I'd ask you to be respectful and refrain from using the chat unless we ask you to do so. The Board of Adjustment, the meeting of the Board of Adjustment will now come to order. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Member Hall.
Present.
Member Hardesty.
Present.
Member Comesañas.
Present.
Member Jones.
Let me get your emails, so you got all of them.
Present.
Member Rivero.
Present.
Member Cobian.
Present.
Member Torres.
Present.
Chair Mumford.
Present.
Chair Alfant.
For yourself, not the people.
Chair Alfant.
Present. Presente. Are there any requests for adjournments or postponements? Request for adjournments or postponements? If so, please use the raise hand feature at the bottom of the computer screen. If you're on the phone, please press *9. Please do so now. I see no raised hands. Call the first case, please.
The time is now 6:19 p.m. The first item on tonight's agenda is ZBA 25-47, located at 312-314 16th Avenue, Block 339, lots 7 and 8 in the West Ward. The applicant is 312-314 16th Avenue LLC. In the R2 zone, the applicant proposes a minor subdivision and construction of a new two-family dwelling. Applicant is seeking C variances for insufficient front yard setback, excessive lot coverage by building, excessive impervious coverage, insufficient transparency front facade, and insufficient transparency street facing side, and excessive driveway width. Site plan approval is not required. This application was adjourned from the January 29th hearing to this date.
Yes.
The Board of Adjustment made the following findings of fact and, counsel, is this your case, Counsel Hunter?
Yes, Miles Hunter
Yeah,
representing.
hold on, counsel. Is your team in, counsel? Okay,
Rui Amaral is the architect.
okay. You have anybody else?
My client is here with me, so
Okay, your client's name?
Casio De Silva.
Can we bring, and
But
that's,
Mr. De Silva is next to me, so he'll just join
oh,
from
okay.
my computer.
Okay, let's bring Mr. Amaral in. Haven't seen Mr. Amaral in a while. If there are any persons with any objectors on this application, please identify yourself by raising your hand. We'd ask you to do this now. The Board of Adjustment made the following findings of fact with respect to 312, 314 16th Avenue. It's located in Newark's West Side neighborhood on the southeastern corner of the intersection of 16th Avenue and South 19th Street. The total site area is approximately 5,000 square feet. The surrounding land uses are detached dwellings and mixed-use developments. Counsel, your appearance for the record, please.
Miles Hunter, law firm of Miles Hunter, representing the applicant on this matter.
Thank you, counsel. Counsel, okay, counsel.
Yes, thank you. This is an application by 312, 314 16th Avenue LLC. Notices were sent to the owners within the 200-foot radius as required by the board based on the adjourned hearing in January. The applicant seeks to subdivide a 50 by 100-foot lot into two separate lots. The original lot will keep the two-family home. The new lot will have a new two-family home with parking in the rear. Would be an easement for access across the lot, and variance relief is necessary. In connection with this application, I would like to have the project's architect, Mr. Amaro, testify on behalf of the applicant and for the project.
Where is Mr. Amaral? He's left out. You didn't bring him in.
He needs to accept the invitation
You
to.
have to accept the invitation, Mr. Amaral. We invite you. You have to. There you go.
Okay.
Mr. Amaral, if you could turn on your camera and unmute yourself. Can you turn on your camera, Mr. Amaral? Mr. Amaral, you have to turn on your camera and unmute yourself. Are you having trouble with your audio, your video, sir? Mr. Amaral, can you speak?
Join us. Visit Andy.
Hello? Mr. Amaral. Mr. Amaral? Counsel, do you have Mr. Amaral's phone number?
Yes, I'll call him.
Give him a call.
Yes.
What? No, on Zoom, you can't hear me?
We
I don't
can
know what
hear
it is.
you, but we can't see you.
Oh, you can't see me.
Yes.
All right, so we got them somewhere. Why isn't the video on?
You need a young person to give you a hand there, Mr. Amaral. I assume you have drawings that you're going to share with us, correct?
I can see myself here now.
We can't see you.
It's not appearing on there.
Oh, this got covers on it? Oh, just take it off. This for him.
They had the same problem. Hey, come on, all of a sudden it works. Do it on my cell phone, but I need to go on the computer because, oh, come on.
Mr.
drawings.
Amaral, at some point, I'm going to have to second call you, and that could be disastrous for you this evening.
Why is this thing on?
Can you sign off and sign back on?
Start video. All right, I think we got it.
You got it?
We see you.
Uh-huh.
Rui, can you unmute yourself?
There you go. Speak.
Now I'm on.
You are
Yeah.
on.
I know we haven't seen you. You're really out of practice, Mr. Amaral. I know we haven't seen you for a while.
It's a
You
new
wanna raise
computer. I updated the computer and look at this.
When you get to our age, Mr. Amaral, when the technology changes, we're
Something very
once
simple,
again.
yeah. Something very
Raise
simple.
your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, your address, and your relationship to this application.
R-U-I, last name Amaral, A-M-A-R-A-L. I'm a registered architect in the state of New Jersey since 1995. I've been at this board for 30 years. And I prepared the drawings for this application.
Thank you. Mr. Amaral, your architectural license in New Jersey is in full force and effect. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, it is.
Great. Mr. Amaral is well known to this board. We've spent more time with him tonight than we have recently, already. We'll accept him as an expert in the field of architectures. Counsel.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Amaro, would you please describe for the board briefly the existing property and the improvements thereon?
Currently, this property is 16th Avenue on the corner, 16th Avenue and South 19th Street. Currently, this property is a vacant lot.
And
The,
what is on the adjacent, the
this
lot
lot,
that exists?
this lot is number 8.
Okay.
And the adjacent lot next door is lot number 7.
And what is on,
Both properties are owned by the same, by my client.
and what's on that property?
On lot 7, which is 316th, 16th Avenue. Currently is a 2.5-story building, 2-family, that we renovated a few years back.
Thank you.
And
And
my client still owns it, and I believe he rents it.
and will you describe for the board the project?
And on this lot, this is 312 16th Avenue, which is the corner lot. Currently is a vacant lot. We are proposing to do a 2-family house, 3 stories. On the ground floor, there will be a 2-car garage. Now, because this is a corner lot, we are proposing to do the garage through the back of the back of the house. So the garage doors will be facing the rear yard. So that means that the backyard is going to be paved. Now, because my client owns the building next door, the 316th, we are proposing to do an easement through the backyard or the paved area behind the garage on our corner lot that will provide access to parking of the 2-family of the adjacent property, which is this would be a 316th. So both properties will have 2 parking spaces.
And will you describe for the board the 2 residential units briefly in the new construction, the proposed new construction?
As I mentioned, on the ground floor, there will be a 2-car garage, and it will be a playroom on the ground floor. Facing, maybe I can, should I share the screen?
Please.
This is the sort of a rendering. On the right side, we have the entrance to both apartments on the right side. So there will be 2 doors, 2 separate doors. The one on the left accesses the 1st floor and 2nd floor, and the one on the right accesses the top floor. Oops, this thing got in the way here. This is the property as currently. On the right side, we have the existing 2-family house, and this is the empty lot on the corner. On this view here is the back of the property. Currently, there is an existing gate that accesses the backyard. So currently, the house next door, they park in the back. So we're going to try to maintain that. This other view here, this is on the left side of, or basically South 19th Street view. And the floor plans. So we have the 2-car garage facing the back. On the 16th Avenue, we have the 2 staircases that goes to each apartment. On the 2nd floor, we have a kitchen, dining, breakfast, living room. We have 3 bedrooms, 2 smaller bedrooms, and then the master in the back. Let me try to pull this up a little bit. The master bedroom will be 15 by 12 feet 8. has its own bathroom and closet. The two additional bedrooms are 12 feet 10 inches, 12 feet 4 inches by 10 and a half. We have a kitchen, living, dining, and a balcony facing the front, or basically it's 16th Avenue. And then on the third floor, similar floor plan, kitchen, dining, living room, balcony is facing the front, bathroom, laundry room, two additional rooms, and then the master. And again, 15 by 12 feet 8.
And can you show the board the proposed parking and easement area?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you show the board the proposed parking area and the easement?
Oh, yeah. I believe this is So this is the back of the property. Access through South 19th Street. We have a 10-foot driveway. This is sort of existing. It needs to be fixed, touched up a bit. Then you enter this view here. This is for the access of the 316. So the cars will enter, park behind the house, the existing house, these two parking spaces, and then they can go and turn around and go back out. So this is for the 16. For our new house, they will just drive in, go park under the house, inside the garage, and then back onto the existing or into the other property. So we need this easement. The easement will be for both properties. So that both properties can use the driveway as an ingress and egress. So the corner property will back out onto the 316 property and then go out, and vice versa.
Thank you. And now will you describe also?
They will park back here, turn around, and then use the corner property to go out. So the easement is the entire area. Let me see if I have the other drawings. No.
All right, thank you. Can you now describe for the board the variances that are requested?
As for variances, so the corner property is basically in line with the house next door. The front setback is 2 feet 9 of the 316th Street. So we're providing 3 feet front yard. Kind of requires a variance, but it's not really a variance. The code says that we have to be prevailing. I didn't want to do the 2 foot 9 because we need a fence. Because this is a corner property, we're providing a 4-foot fence along the property line. So that would give us less than 3 feet to walk around in between to do landscape and stuff. So we're providing a 3-foot setback on the front yard. On the corner lot, we are placing the building on the 0 line, on the property line. That's not a variance. But on the opposite side, the minimum required is 5 feet, and we're providing 3 feet 2 inches. So let's go back to here to the line. And then in the rear yard, we're okay. We're providing the 30-foot setback. So the backyard is 30 feet 2 inches. Now, maximum building coverage, the required is 50%. We're at 58.4. We're just a little bit over the minimum required. And impervious coverage, because the property is basically paved 90%, because of the paving in the back, we can only provide landscaping along the side of the property. And then the additional variances are in regards to transparency. The front elevation required is 30, we're at 26%, which is close enough. And the street side elevation, which is on the corner lot, we're providing 11%. The required is 20%. If you want to look at the elevations, I just had them here. So this is 11%, but it doesn't look like it's 11%. And then on the front side, we're at 26%. So it's an attractive building.
And with respect to the driveway width and the lighting intensity?
This one. But then the waivers is basically because of lighting, although that was updated, the lighting. And then there's a variance on the report from the city that mentions that we needed one tree located on the property, but we really don't have a location for it. However, we are providing three street trees instead. Because it's a corner lot, we can put the trees on the sidewalk rather than inside on the property.
So in your opinion, as a professional architect, may the variances be granted without a detriment to the zoning ordinance and to the detriment to the and without a detriment to the neighborhood and the environment?
Yes, it's an appropriate building, design wise, and we are trying the best that we can do to provide parking for both properties.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the architect? Any questions for Mr. Amaral? Mr. Amaral, did you get a chance to review our planner's report here?
Yes.
And I wonder if you can address the request that our planner made. If you're having trouble bringing him up, the planner could raise him with you. Mr. Hazel,
Yes,
I wonder if you could just one by one go through your
sure.
concerns.
The three recommendations that I propose to the board are to use a permeable pavement material for the paving on the site, particularly in the rear yard where you're proposing to put the easement to access the neighboring property garage. If you can use a permeable material to reduce the level of impervious coverage on the site. That's number one. Number two
Mr.
is
Amaral, is that something that you can do here?
We didn't hear you.
Mr. Amaral? Did we lose your audio?
Your mic, there might be something wrong with your microphone, Roy.
Did you turn your volume off?
Well, board, there are three items. And as to these items, I'll check with Roy to see if we can do those things.
Well,
I'm
well,
not
yeah,
sure how I can get it on the record without him being able to speak.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to find a way to do this now. Mr.
Yes.
Amaral, can you hear us?
Yes,
Okay, there you go. Mr. Amaral, can you respond to Mr. Hazel's first request?
Yep.
Permeable pavers, is that something that you can do here?
Can you say it again? You broke up. Are you saying yes? We can't hear you.
yes,
Now we can hear you. Okay.
Thank you.
you can.
So council, as a
Yes.
condition of approval, do you
Yes.
agree to place pavers in the backyard and have Mr. Amaral show the change that makes regarding this variance and have that be accepted by our planner? Do you agree to that as a condition of approval?
Yes, I just spoke to my client. He confirmed he will direct the architect to do that.
And Mr. Hazel, your
Yep.
second.
Your second one, about the transparency, either to bring it up to the required standard or provide testimony as to why you're not able to. And I think you did provide some testimony along that line.
Mr. Amaral, is it your position that you cannot you cannot increase the transparency? You're scaring me now, Mr. Amaral.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Hear back
yes,
from the
yes.
computer.
Don't touch anything else.
No, it's what happens. I got a message. The internet is unstable.
Okay,
That's
Yeah.
what's going
yes.
on. Okay, yeah.
About the
I think-
transparency.
As for transparency, I think we'll provide enough windows. I mean, we're providing one window in each bedroom. The front elevation, we have lots of windows, lots of square footages.
I'm satisfied with that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, next,
The applicant, you're required to have one on-site tree. Is there anywhere else in the site that you can consider putting that one tree that you're short?
Yeah, because of the parking in the back, and we only have 3 feet setbacks on the corners, we really don't have room for a tree. But however, we are providing 3 trees on the street.
Well, that is a separate thing from the on-site trees, however.
what are you suggesting as to the tree, Mr. Hazel?
I'm just looking at the back here. I mean, there's a lot. The area that is being paved is literally taking up the entire backyard. So there's not much space left there, short of not having the whole area paved. And I don't know what that would do in terms of the maneuverability. It probably would impact it. So my sense of it is probably this might be an opportunity to an option to pay into the tree fund.
So, council, as a condition of approval regarding this variance, would you agree to meet with the city's arborist to discuss the possibility of planting trees? And only if suitable plantings can't be found on the site, will you then agree to make the required payment to the city's tree fund?
Yes, I just spoke to my client and he's agreeable to that condition.
Mr. Hazel?
Yep, I'm good.
Thank you. Council,
Yes.
any further witnesses with testimony?
No further witnesses or testimony. We did receive the surveyor's report dated March 3rd, 2026. I've spoken with the surveyor, and the surveyor has agreed to revise the subdivision maps, the legal descriptions, as well as the block and lot designations as provided on that review letter.
Thank you.
That concludes my testimony, my presentation.
Are there any questions or by members of the board? Any further questions by members of the board regarding this application? Are there any questions from members of the public regarding this application? If so, please identify yourself by raising the used hand feature. I'd ask you to do so now. I see no raised hands. Are there any members of the public who care to make a statement regarding this application? Any members of the public who care to make a statement regarding this application? I'd ask you to raise your, use the raise hand feature, and you'll be recognized. I'd ask you to use the raise hand feature now. If you're on the telephone, please press *9. I'd ask you to do so now, please. I see no raised hands. Council, you want to sum up or submit?
Yes, a brief summary. Again, this is an application for subdivision so that the applicant can create a new lot whereby a new two-family home will be constructed. They're minor variances, but the applicant has agreed to address the concerns raised by the city planner as well as by the city surveyor. So for the foregoing reasons, we respectfully request that the application be approved with all variances and waivers as applied for and necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. We're now in discussion. Is there a discussion from the board?
The chair,
Is that Commissioner Comisanias? No?
Commissioner Hall.
Commissioner Hall?
Yes.
All you commissioners sound the same. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
Commissioner Hall?
I am going to be in favor of this application. It's pretty straightforward. It's filling a void where there's an empty lot. There's going to be housing. That's a positive. The applicant has agreed to all of our conditions and suggestions from our planner. For those reasons, I will be in favor.
Thank you. Commissioner Comisanias?
Yeah, to echo what Commissioner Hall said, this seems to be the least disruptive usage for what could be put there at the moment. So I'm not against this application. I'd be in favor of it.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Member Hall,
Oh, I'm sorry,
Mr.
before
Chair,
we call the
There a
roll,
motion?
we gotta have a motion first, right? It
Yes,
would be helpful if we have a motion first.
yes.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve application ZBA 25 47 312 14 16th Avenue, Block 339, lots 7 and 8, with the conditions on record.
We have a
Second.
motion for approval with conditions.
Second.
by Paul. Second, Vice Chair Montford. Call the roll, please.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comisanias,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Vice Chair Mumford,
Yes.
Chair Alphonse.
Yes. Congratulations, your application has been granted.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Call the next case, please.
The time is now 6:54 PM. The next item on tonight's agenda is ZBA 25 39, located at 292 296 Clinton Place, block 3633, lot 36 in the South Ward. The applicant is 52 Shepherd Avenue LLC. In the R3 zone, the applicant proposes a new 5-story low-rise multifamily with 20 units and ground floor parking. Applicant is seeking a D3 variance for failing to meet conditional use standards and a D5 variance for insufficient lot area per dwelling unit. C variances for insufficient front yard setback ×2, insufficient side yard setback, excessive lot coverage by building, excessive impervious coverage, insufficient transparency side facade ×2, and insufficient off-street parking. Site plan approval is required. This application was adjourned from the January 8th hearing to this date.
Council, is your whole team in?
I do not see them, Chair. One second.
Who are you looking?
So it's William Stimmel is our planner and traffic engineer. John Halsey is our architect, and Harrison Barani is our civil engineer. And also Tyrone Ingram is the developer. Just want to see if he's there. Tyrone Ingram as well is a developer. And Mr. Barani is our civil engineer.
I don't see Tyrone. Who did you say?
He's here, Chair.
Okay, so I think everyone's in now.
Yes, they are.
Correct? Okay, are there any objectors to this application? Objectors to application ZBA-25-39, 292 to 296 Clinton Place? If so, please identify yourself by using the raise hand feature at the bottom of your computer screen. If you're on a mobile device or mobile device, if you're on a telephone, please press *9. I'd ask you to do so now. The Board of Adjustment made the following findings of fact. With respect to 292, 296 Clinton Place, it's located in Newark's Weequahic section on the southeastern corner of the intersection of Clinton Place and Shepherd Avenue. The total site area is approximately 7,964 square feet. The surrounding land uses are a low-rise multifamily place of worship and detached dwellings. I see no raised hands. Is that correct, Ms. Mejia?
Yes.
Counsel, your appearance for the record, please.
And good evening, Chair and members of the board. My name is Marcia Moore from the law firm of Post Pollock on behalf of the applicant 52 Shepherd Avenue LLC. As noted, this is an application tonight for preliminary and final site plan, along with a D3 conditional use variance, a D5 density variance, and bulk variances, which we'll discuss. What this application entails is demolition of a former auto repair facility and the construction of a new 5-story low-rise multifamily residential dwelling containing 18 dwelling units. The original application proposed 20. I will address that based on the planner's report. The application was revised to reduce it from 20 units to 18, and those plans were submitted to the board 10 days in advance. Tonight, you'll hear that this application also includes some tenant amenities. Those are some comments that your planner requested, along with 11 parking spaces. It's really the equivalent of 13 with the 2 EV spaces, along with related site improvements. As Madam Secretary has noted, this property is located in the R3 on the corner of Clinton and Shepherd Place, where in the R3, low-rise multifamily dwellings are permitted. They're permitted conditionally based on a few factors and a few standards. Majority of them we meet except for one. The first one is the location of corner lot, which we meet, the fact that we are on the corner of Clinton and Shepherd Place. A minimum lot size of 5,000 square feet. We meet that condition with almost 7,964 square feet. And the standard that we don't meet is respect to the minimum lot area. That lot area requires 500 square feet. We are slightly undersized with 18 units, about 442 square feet per unit, which requires the D3 conditional use variance, and directly related is that D5 because we do not meet the density variance. As I mentioned, we are seeking, we have revised our plans, which have eliminated a number of variances that were previously referenced in our application and in your planner's report. That pertains to one of the front yard setback, which we'll discuss, the lot coverage and the impervious, coverage, and also decrease the parking requirement. We'll be addressing that throughout our presentation tonight. As these proposed 18 units. 4 of these units will be affordable income restricted that will be in direct compliance with the IZO, which we'll discuss during our planning testimony. Before I begin my first witness, I just want to acknowledge receipt of certain reports. The first one is your water and sewer memorandum dated November 20th, 2025. We have no objection with being those conditions of approval. I'm also in receipt of Department of Engineering memorandum dated January 2nd, 2025, and we can agree to comply with conditions of approval. Mr. Trafficante has asked us to provide some testimony, more so with encroachments. Majority of them are being eliminated, and so we'll be addressing that during the course of our presentation. I'm also in receipt of a traffic engineering and parking assessment, and our traffic engineer will be addressing those. There are those few comments and testimony that Mr. Trafficante wanted us to clarify, and Mr. Stimmer will be addressing that during his testimony. And last but not least, as I mentioned, we are in receipt of Mr. Hazel's report dated December 28, 2025. He did ask us to address some comments. One of them was reducing the number of units, which we have reduced the number of units from 20 to 18, which has impacted or eliminated those variances I noted. The last comment is respect to the parking requirement, which our engineer, civil engineer, will be testifying to. In addition to that, we've also secured some additional parking spaces via lease agreement, which provide during our testimony tonight. So my first witness will be our architect, John Halsey, who will give us an overview, followed by the civil engineer, and then Mr. Stimmo will be serving both as our traffic engineer as well as our planner tonight.
Council, just so the record is very clear, as to the matters raised by the Department of Water and Sewer, you'd agree, your client, on behalf of your client, you agree to meet with each and every one of those conditions as a condition of approval? Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct,
And-
yes.
And the same is true as to the conditions raised in the report, the memo from the Department of Engineering. Is that correct?
That is correct. There are some comments, testimony, but the conditions we would agree to comply with. That is correct.
Thank you. And you're going to start with whom?
My architect, John Halsey.
Mr. Halsey, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, give us your address and your relationship to this application, please.
John Halsey, architect, address 535 Parker Street, Newark.
And Mr. Halsey, can you just give us your educational background, what license any you hold?
Well,
Is he fine?
Council, Mr. Halsey, is your architectural license in the state of New Jersey in full force and effect?
Yes, in good standing.
Yeah, Mr. Halsey is well known to this board. Council will accept him as an expert in the field of architecture.
Great, thank you. So Mr. Halsey, I don't know if you're sharing your screen or somebody else is assisting you with that. If you could share the screen and then walk us through the existing conditions of the site.
Sure. Okay, just a moment. Okay, we're looking at the corner of Clinton Place and Shepherd Avenue. The site is occupied by a mechanic, an auto mechanic with open parking and a one-story garage. There's next to it, there is an existing 4-story multi-residential building, which does not have any on-site parking. There are existing 2-family, 3-family buildings and churches and commercial spaces throughout the neighborhood in the vicinity.
Council, let the record reflect that Mr. Halsey is sharing what appears to be a Google map of the.
And Chair, I would like to have that marked as A1.
So marked. Thank you, Council.
Thank you. So Mr. Halsey, you're now sharing your screen of the architectural plans that have been submitted to the board. If you want to continue your testimony and give us an overview of what this project proposes.
Yes, thank you. I will continue. We are proposing a 5-story building with 18 dwelling units. There are 11 parking spaces with 2 additional EV parking credits, which brings it to 13 parking spaces. The front setback on Clinton Place is 3 feet to provide a landscaping strip. The front setback on Shepherd Avenue is also 3 feet with landscaping. The right side setback on Clinton Place, the side yard, is 3.5 feet. The left side setback, side yard on Shepherd Avenue is 0 feet. There is an existing driveway on the adjacent property there. The rear setbacks do not apply. The rear setback requirement does not apply for corner lots. Ground floor parking will contain 11 spaces, which includes 1 handicap space. Also, there is a lobby, an elevator, 2 stair cores, a machine room, a package room, a space for bicycle racks, a superintendent's office with a bathroom, utility rooms, a garbage room with the refuse chute, refuse area next to that, which is enclosed, and a small grass area with 2 trees. Okay, going up to the next floors, floors 2 to 4. Floors 2 to 4 will contain 15 apartments, 5 units, 5 per each floor. The 5th floor will contain 3 apartments, 1 one-bedroom unit and 2 two-bedroom units, an amenity space, and an exercise lounge, and a roof deck. Each floor will contain 1-bedroom apartments between 660 to 695 square feet. 2-bedroom apartments will be 730 to 970 square feet. So the total breakdown, the summary of that is 7. Well, here I'll just mention. Okay, 7. There's 7 one-bedroom apartments with 1 bathroom, 11 two-bedroom apartments with 2 bathrooms. Each unit will have a washer and dryer. All units will be type A, ADA adaptable. All units will have package units for heating and cooling. Each unit has a open space, living room, kitchen area. Bedrooms range from 10 foot by 10 foot to 10 foot by 12 feet clear. That's excluding closets. The ground floor and exterior of the building will be very properly lit, as well as landscaped with trees on Clinton Place and Shepherd Avenue. And also landscaping along the 3-foot setback on both street fronts. The exterior finishes are brick, AZEK composite panels, clapboard metal siding in a dark green color. The proposed height of the building is approximately 50 feet to the 5th floor roof. We will have the required transparency on both street facades as per the planner's reports.
Right, so I just wanted to just jump in a little bit on that transparency. So we're no longer seeking relief or any transparency will comply.
Yeah, we need, we can't comply with transparency on,
Non-street facing.
on one facade.
Okay.
Or two, I should say. Or let me say it would be possible, maybe possible, but extremely difficult for this scope of this project. So we need some relief for.
So we're not fully, that's why I asked the question. We're not fully compliant. We are complying on some of the facades, but we do.
Yeah,
need-
on the
I
street
just want to
fronts,
clarify that.
but not on the the rear walls, facing the open space. We need relief for those walls.
Are you still there?
Okay, that's okay. My final comments are that I believe firmly that this project is an asset to the neighborhood, and the building would not be detrimental to the area. I think it's a big improvement over the open mechanic space, although it might be a neighborhood convenience. I think this is a very appropriate project for housing. We're going from this, open mechanical area, mechanic shop with cars all over into a new 5-story residential building. We have read the engineer's report, and we will comply and make all required revisions based on our new architectural plans. We have also read the planner's report, and we have provided the following revisions. Provide a 3-foot setback for landscaping on Clinton Place and Shepherd Avenue. This will remove a variance for a front yard on Shepherd Avenue. This will remove one variance also for maximum lot coverage, which is down to 68%. The requirement is 70%. Oops. Okay, I'm out.
He's out. No, you're. No, he's out.
I'm out. I'm out.
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Come
Excuse me a moment. Okay. Yeah, I was just speaking about the lot coverage is down to 68%. The maximum is allowed is 70%. This will also remove another variance, maximum impervious coverage down to 75%. We have reduced the number of units to 18. We removed 2 units from the 5th floor, and we're going to use that space to provide amenity space and an exercise room, a lounge area, and a roof deck. This will bring up the lot area per dwelling also from up to 442 square feet, where 500 square feet is required. We have made the building less massive. We've created a setback of 7 feet on the 5th floor. And that is the end of my comments, the end of my testimony. Thank you.
So before I just have a follow-up question, I just wanted to, if we can mark this rendering as A2, PDF was provided, but it is an exhibit, so we can have this marked as A2, which is the color rendering of the property.
You're gonna get us a copy, counsel?
I have provided a copy, but it just needs to be marked. I did email it to Madam Secretary, but I certainly resent it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so there are two, Mr. Halsey, there's another image, so it's A2 and A3, there are two images. If you can just explain to the board like what vantage point we're discussing, I just have some follow-up questions as well.
Okay, this is Shepherd Avenue. The entrance is on the left, at the street level, with the address. Parking in the middle. The 3 levels of units. Most of the facade is clad in horizontal clapboard siding. There are a couple of areas that we've articulated with a white projected panels and infilled with gray metal panels. And the window frames are dark. The ground floor is a tan brick, and up on top, where the 5th floor is set back is a white or cream color metal panels. And you can also see some landscaping at the roof deck that we provided there for the amenity space.
So one of the comments from Mr. Hazel was to when we shift providing that side yard setback, we've eliminated the front yard setback. And as a result of also stepping back, we're also able to provide some amenity space for the tenants. Is that correct? You referenced there is a rooftop deck and a fitness center. So there are some added amenity spaces.
Yes.
Okay. And then that has resulted in us or at least removing a number of those variances. We talk about the coverage, the lot coverage, the building coverage, one of the front yard setback on Shepherd Avenue. Were we able to meet the side yard setback on Clinton Place? We can talk about some discussion. I know we have a planner to address that, but we can just provide some foundation for that.
No.
So we are seeking relief for that setback.
Yes.
All right, I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board for the architect? Vice Chair Munford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The location where we're talking about placing this project, are there any environmental issues we're not aware of or aware of, considering the fact that it used to be an auto mechanic shop?
So, Chair, our civil engineer will be addressing that. That was one of the comments in Mr. Traffic County's report. There are monitoring wells on the site, so we'll be addressing that during our civil engineer testimony.
I'll wait for the civil engineer.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Hall.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, they made some changes, they reduced units and made changes all the way throughout Mr. Hazel's comments, and I'm wondering if we could hear from Mr. Hazel in regards to.
Mr. Hazel?
Yeah.
Bear with me 1 second. I wonder if you'd raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that testimony about to provide be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You state your name and title for the record, please.
Gerard Hazel, board planner.
Mr. Hazel?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I think what we really want to hear is what effect, if any, these changes have on your report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Basically, I think, as far as the impact on the report, I think the applicant has identified some of the variances that have been eliminated as a result of the changes. Some of them include the setback. variances. A lot of impervious coverage variances have been eliminated. The density variance, lot area per dwelling unit, has been reduced fairly substantially. Also the building, the design of the fifth floor now is a lot less massive, and so does it than it was initially. But one of the things that, to me, from a neighborhood perspective, from a community perspective with the neighbors, and so that I appreciate the most of changes they've made that I recommended, is the setting back of the buildings on the street frontage, because before they came right up to the sidewalk and there was just sidewalk and building facade. Now with the pushback, they are able to put some landscaping in there, and I think it significantly softens the whole appearance, and I think it creates a much more enjoyable environment for pedestrians and so in the neighborhood.
Thank you. Anything further you care to hear from Mr. Hazel regarding?
No, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you explaining that to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Trafficante. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to provide to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yep. Thank you. Your audio is soft again. Could you state your name and your title for the record, please?
Charles Trafficante, principal engineer, professional engineer for the city of Newark.
Yeah, I can we do something about the volume, Mr. Trafficante? I just want to
got
make
it up to
sure,
90.
I just want to make sure we get everything on that you say on the record.
Is that better?
Not much.
Mr. Trafficante, your volume is bad on Monday, so I couldn't hear anything.
But we managed. We still got through the meeting, right?
You didn't have to make a record on Monday though.
No, actually, I spoke up on Monday too, so.
Not on the record, Mr. Trafficante. We're making a record here. We need to
Understood.
get you everything you say on the recording. So if Miss Moore has to appeal this, she has your testimony.
All right.
That's better.
All right.
There you go. See, that wasn't so hard.
No.
Sir.
I was going to ask questions, but I don't know if the architect deferred to the site engineer regarding testimony being asked under the surveying plan. I don't know if Mr. Halsey can address those questions regarding testimony.
Mr. Halsey, is that within your purview or this?
No, I would go to our site engineer for that.
Okay.
Mr.
So
Trafficante, Mr. Barani can address those encroachments, so testify, most of them will be removed, so I would reserve those questions for him, if you may.
Well, is the monitoring well as well?
Yes,
All right. I will say my questions then. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the board for Mr. Halsey? Well, Mr. Halsey, can Mr. Halsey address audio, visual devices around the garage opening, or will that be your site engineer also?
Yes, there. Yes, there will be.
I'm hearing voices. And now you're muted.
Care to believe the testimony that there will be.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, there will be devices, cameras and so forth around the parking entrance. I believe that was your question?
Yeah, will there be an audio signal?
Yes.
Alert,
yes.
alert.
Yeah, camera, audio signal.
Pedestrians.
Yes.
And some kind of a visual signal also?
Yes.
Council, if you agree to that on behalf of your applicant as a condition of approval, that you'll share those with our engineer and our planner and to their Agreement?
Yes, we can agree those conditions of approval.
Thank you. Any other questions for the architect? Are there questions from the architect from the members of the public? Questions from members of the public for the architect? If so, please use the raise hand feature. I'd ask you to do so now. If you're on the telephone, you can press *9. Again, I'd ask you to do so now. I see no raised hands. Council?
So at this time, I'd like to bring our civil engineer, Harrison Barani.
Ms. Browning, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to provide be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, give us your address in relationship to this application.
Sure. My name is Harrison Barany, Harrison, last name B as in Bravo, Arany. I'm with E2 Project Management, located at 87 Hibernia Avenue in Rockaway, New Jersey. I am the civil engineer for this application, and my company has prepared the grading plan, utility plans, as well as the stormwater management plan and the survey for this property. And I've been before this board before. I have a license. I'm licensed in the state of New Jersey as a professional engineer. My license is current and in good standing. And like I said, I've been before this board before.
Thank you. We'll accept Mr. Brownie as an expert in the field of engineering. Counsel?
So, Ms. Brent, you've indicated the scope of your services respect to the stormwater, the grading and utilities, and as well as the survey. If you want to share your screen and discuss those aspects, and then I will ask the question pertaining to the survey, in particular those encroachments.
Sure. Yeah, I can show the survey first if you'd like. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a survey that was prepared by my company that shows the site of question, as well as the surrounding streets and properties within 10 feet or so of the property. Again, there's a comment about there's a monitoring well located on site, and that can be shown here within the asphalt or dirt area of the site. And typically monitoring wells are related to groundwater issues. They're usually used for sampling of groundwater to identify if there's any contamination. We did a background check using NJGeoWeb, which is like a GIS database that the DEP uses and records all sites that may be contaminated or have been studied or reported to the DEP. Nothing was found in regards to the site as far as if it's a known contaminated site, if there's groundwater issues or contamination in general. However, we're pursuing investigation with this well, and the plan is to, close out the well and decommission it, fill it in and remove it. Obviously, if there are any issues, they will have to comply with the DEP regulations as it pertains to this site and the use. Thankfully, the ground floor of this plan is primarily parking. It's not there's no habitable space located on the ground floor, and we're providing a cap as far as asphalt pavement and concrete. So if there are any issues, it would more or less likely be groundwater. I don't want to say there may not be other issues, but having a monitoring well is typical of a groundwater contamination. But we are unaware of anything, as like I said, any contamination at the moment, but we are pursuing more investigation and will comply with the DEP regulations. And that's all I can speak of on the monitoring well. There were a few comments in regards to the survey from the engineering letter in regards to some encroachments on the property, as well as some concrete foundations and a utility pole or a pole with a light located on it, which is a floodlight. You can see I'm zooming in here. There's a few they're called concrete bases. They're probably old concrete foundations or pads used for signage or poles of some kind back in the day. Those are planned to be removed. Those are located on our site, so we have no intention of keeping those. The pole here with a floodlight shown, that is also to be removed. It is too close to the building. There's no power really going to it. There's a solar panel located on it. So it's okay to be removed, and that is our intention, to remove the light and the pole. And then as far as any fencing goes or walls, there is a fence, chain link fence, that borders the property with a wall. This wall is on the neighbor's property, is to remain. We're not going to be touching that. And there is a chain link fence, as you can see here, that encroaches into our property, located really on our property, as well as over here at the front of the property. That is to be removed. Those are really our fences. So the intent is to remove that, and we're going to provide a buffer and a wall as well to replace what's there now. And I hope that answers the questions of the existing survey.
I just do want to, Bob, just to make the record clear, Mr. So there's no need for any easements. One of the comments from Mr. Traficante, whether or not there exist any easements or none, but we would they're being removed or would be relocated.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, to my knowledge, there's no existing easements on the site, and the intent is to remove anything that's currently on our site. And if it is a neighbor's, it belongs to a neighbor, the intention is to put it back onto their property.
And then
if I may, yeah, go ahead, Marcia.
You continue.
Okay, if I may continue, I'm going to be showing the plans that my office has prepared, which is part of the site plan submission. The plans before you are dated June 25th, 2025, identified as revision B, and the image shown before you, the drawing number C100, is our grading and utility plan. If I just may, the existing site as it is today slopes from the back corner back here towards the street in the northwest direction, and that's primarily what we're keeping. What we're doing to the site and grading perspective is, providing new sidewalks and curbs along the frontages that will comply with ADA, maximum 2% cross slopes. We're actually removing, there's an existing 3 curb cuts that exist on the property today. And we're reducing that down to one curb cut for the driveway off of Shepherd Avenue. So having full height curbs along the property will benefit, the use of the property and the safety. I would just like to point out as well that just beyond the boundary of our property, on the sidewalk, public sidewalk, there is an area where there's an existing tree stump that has uplifted the sidewalk and caused damage to it. It's really a tripping hazard, and what we plan to do is slightly extend our limit of disturbance to fix this area so that, it's connecting to our sidewalk. So we'd rather have a nice continuous paved sidewalk with no tripping hazards or safety issues. So shown in this picture, you can see the tree stump back there. We're extending our disturbance, like I said, a little bit further down the sidewalk in front of the neighbor, just to help with this issue. As far as the grading goes, like I said before, we do have some yard drains and area drains throughout the parking area, as well as one drain in the garden area to receive runoff. So the site's been graded in a way that stormwater runoff is being captured and nothing is leaving the site. We have a trench drain also right in front of the driveway, so that's intercepting any water that may run off into the street. And then as far as utilities goes, this is a slightly outdated plan, only because the architect had just submitted plans, no more than 2 weeks ago. So the one change here is that previously we had 2 utility rooms near the western corner over here, and one of them now is near the front corner of the building. So these utilities will be split accordingly, although they will all be tied in off of Clinton Place. We have a 2-inch domestic water line that's going to be connecting to the 12-inch water main in the street, a 4-inch fire water line that's going to be connecting to the same 12-inch water main in the street. We have a gas service line connecting into Clinton Place, as well as a sanitary line connecting into Clinton Place. So all of our utilities are going to Clinton Place, as well as the electric. I may go to our stormwater management plan. This is a diagram showing the stormwater management for the site, and our site isn't considered a major development per the DEP standards, nor the city of Newark definition of a major development. Our site is, only 7,964 square feet. And what would trigger a major development in Newark is 10,000 square feet or more of disturbance, or 5,000 square feet of impervious coverage added. And our site is only 7,900 64 square feet. Therefore, we do not trigger the 10,000 square feet of disturbance. And going back to the impervious coverage of the motor vehicle surface, we're actually reducing the amount of motor vehicle surface because the site as it exists today is a smaller building with parking in asphalt area where they're storing vehicles. So the site will become more or less entirely covered by buildings. So it's a cleaner runoff. There won't be any motor vehicle surface that will be receiving water runoff directly from the stormwater, at least a very small portion of it. And what we're doing to manage the stormwater is propose an underground detention tank, which is shown in a dotted line here within this area. That receives runoff from the roof leaders, from the roof above. It's receiving runoff from some area drains, again, located within the parking area, from vehicle runoff, as well as an area drain within the garden area that's graded accordingly, so that's receiving runoff and nothing is going onto the neighbor's property. Again, we have a trench drain receiving runoff and bringing it back into the site. And then we have an outlet control structure, which is used to control the flow of the water leaving the site. So currently these plans show an extension or a new proposed discharge pipe going through the intersection and tying into an existing stormwater manhole here beyond the intersection. We had a discussion with the Department of Water and Sewer, and it was one of their comments or requests, as well as with the engineering letter. What we plan on doing is extending this 15-inch RCP or concrete pipe to the front of our site, approximately here in Shepherd Avenue, and tying directly into a new manhole there. So we agreed to do that, and that will be reflected on our new set of plans. And then really just to go over, I don't know if I addressed every other comment. We already said we would agree with the water and sewer utilities report. And I already spoke to the comments regarding the survey. And then as far as the comments in the engineering report, sections 5 and 8, as it pertains to grading and stormwater management, we would agree to comply with those comments, as Ms. Moore had said before. And that concludes my testimony. And Marsha, I don't know if you want to add anything, or I'd be open to questions.
Nothing further. You've covered.
Sure.
Thank you. Why don't we start off with Mr. Trafficante? Do you have any questions? Mr. Trafficante. Have we lost Mr. Trafficante? Are there any questions from the board? Questions from the board for the engineer? Are there questions from the board for the engineer? Mr. Trafficante? This is.
I beg your pardon. I didn't realize I was still muted. I'm sorry, Mr. Barani.
Yes.
You mentioned you could address items 5 and 8 in the engineering department's report to the board dated January 2nd. How about item number 7, the lighting plan? There's several places where you don't meet the minimum.
The lighting plan was not prepared by my office, so I could not speak to that. That would be the architect.
So, Mr. Trafficante, in speaking with the applicant, we would agree to comply with the lighting plan. I know there was a comment whether or not we need to provide or request a variance. My understanding that we all agree to comply with the lighting.
So you'll do that as a condition of approval, council?
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Trafficante.
And for the record, Mr. Barani, should it be found out there's an issue with groundwater contamination or other, I trust you're going to do something with that monitoring well and extend it to grade and make it accessible, I guess, 24/7?
Yeah, so the monitoring well is located in an area that we could keep, if it has to be accessible and continue to be sampled, that could be done, extended through the concrete, foundation or the surface within the parking area. Thankfully, we don't have a lot in the parking area itself, so I'm sure it could be managed to keep if we need to keep it.
All right. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board for the engineer? Questions from members of the board for the engineer? Are there questions from members of the public for the engineer? If so, please use the raise hand feature at the bottom of your computer screen or mobile device. If you're on a telephone, please press star 9. I ask you to do so now. I see no raised hands. Counsel?
So at this time, I'd like to call our next witness, Mr. William Stimmel.
Mr. Stimmel, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, give us your address, and your relationship to this application, please.
William Stimmel, STIMMEL. My professional address is P.O. Box 280, Rutherford, New Jersey. I've been retained to provide traffic engineering and planning expertise on this project. My engineering license is current. My planner's license is current. And I have testified in front of this board and many other boards in the state of New Jersey in both aspects.
And counsel, what would you like Mr. Stimmel to be recognized as an expert in tonight?
At both as a traffic engineer as well as a professional licensed planner, providing both testimony tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Stimmel, you've appeared before this board before, is that correct?
Yes, I have, yes.
And have you appeared before this board and been recognized as an expert in as a traffic engineer?
Yes, in front of both this board and the planning board.
Well, we're far more intelligent than the planning board and better looking, certainly better looking. And what about as a planner? Have you appeared before this board and been recognized as an expert in planning?
Yes, I have.
And all your license, your planning license and your engineering license in New Jersey are in full force and effect. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll recognize Mr. Stimmel as an expert in both as traffic engineer and planner. Counsel?
Thank you. So, before you start your testimony, just give the board an overview of what, if any, documents you've reviewed today in anticipation of both your testimony as a civil engineer, traffic engineer as well as a planner. Just brief over what you've reviewed tonight.
Sure. I've reviewed the site and architectural plans prepared by the applicant's professionals in support of the application, the review letters from the various city departments, as well as the city master plan and zoning ordinance, and I've visited the property as well.
Okay. And you can just discuss the existing conditions.
Sure. Just very briefly, the site consists of a four-sided parcel with an area of 7,964 square feet. It's about 0.18 acres. It's currently occupied by a one-story auto repair facility. There's a chain link fence and gate securing the property. The site has frontage along northbound Clinton Place and eastbound Shepherd Avenue. Right now, there's a total of 3 curb cuts to the property. It's bound by adjoining residential properties to the east and south, and public right-of-way to the north and west.
So the architect has discussed the proposed conditions we're proposing. You had an opportunity to prepare a traffic study. If you can discuss first your analysis, the date of your study, just mark that, and then just discuss your traffic counts in your analysis. Traffic and parking study.
Sure. I did 2 studies, actually. I initially did a traffic study, a traffic impact analysis, if you will, which was dated January 13th of 2025, performed traffic counts at the intersection of Clinton Place and Shepherd Avenue on October 29th, 2024 from 7 to 9 a.m. and October 30th, 2024 from 4 to 6 p.m. They're both weekdays. That was done to capture the peak weekday traffic volumes for commuter traffic, as this is a residential development. Within those study periods, I found that the peak hours occurred from 7:30 to 8:30 on a weekday morning and 4:30 to 5:30 on a weekday afternoon. I analyzed the intersection volumes utilizing highway capacity software, which projects the anticipated delay for each lane group or approach group and assigns a letter grade on an A through F scale, A being the best, F being the worst, and the movements at the study intersection were found to operate at level of service B or better during both the morning and evening peak hour. I projected the site-generated traffic volumes based on data published by the Institute of Transportation Engineers for multifamily housing in a mid-rise building. It was based on 20 dwelling units, which was what the development scope called for at the time. The number of units has been reduced to 18 at this point, which would of course have a nominal reduction that goes along with it in terms of the site-generated traffic, but it worked out to be 8 trips during the critical evening peak hour. I also added a 1% background growth rate to the existing traffic volumes based on data published by the state DOT for minor arterial roadways in Essex County, which is the roadway classification for the frontage roads. I analyzed both the future no build, which is the future without the site development, and the future build with the site development, and found no changes to the levels of service compared to the existing conditions. I also analyzed the proposed site driveway, which is expected to operate at level of service A for both peak hours. We did receive a traffic review from Mr. Trafficante from January 2nd of this year. It appeared that he was in agreement based on the projection of site-generated traffic that there's no impact and no change to the levels of service. I had also prepared a parking study a little bit more recently. That was dated November 25th of 2025. And in the last few years, the city, as the board I'm sure knows, has been requiring a parking study for residential developments where a parking variance is requested. Typically requires the applicant to look at the on-street parking supply within 300 feet of the site. For the site in question, the study included a total of 191 on-street parking spaces. Counted those on Tuesday, November 12th, 2025 from 7 to 10 a.m. and again on that same date from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. Generally, the results of the parking study indicated that there were at least 62 parking spaces available in the area to address the deficiency of 5 parking spaces on the subject property. We had needed a variance for 7 parking spaces based on the elimination of 2 units. We're down to a variance for 5 parking spaces. I had noted in the traffic study, and again, I'm sure the board members are aware, there are 7 different bus routes within a half a mile of the site. So the property does have access to transit. The census data, which has been collected for the city of Newark, shows that 40% of households have no access to vehicles, 38% have access to 1 vehicle. And there were additional comments from Mr. Trafficante in his January 2nd letter related to the parking study. He asked that I provide clarification for the meanings of columns 1 through 8 at the top of the parking table, which is appended to the parking study, and that corresponds to areas on the parking study map, which is attached as the last page of the parking study. So there were 8 different zones in the parking study, and that's broken out on the attached map. Mr. Trafficante asked how many of the available 62 parking spaces are within 300 feet of the site, and I found at least 20 parking spaces available within 300 feet of the site. And one thing I neglected to mention in the parking study or in the traffic study for that matter was that because of the fact that there are going to be 2 driveway closures at the subject property, we would add back 1, possibly 2 on-street parking spaces. And then Mr. Trafficante also commented that we should provide additional parking counts on the weekend. And in my professional opinion, I don't believe the additional parking counts are needed. The site is solely a residential use. The residential parking demand peaks during the overnight period. That's why we extend the counts until 11 o'clock at night. And that happens regardless of the day of the week. So there's certainly available parking on the weekday and weeknight that we counted, and I would not expect, in my professional opinion, that would change at all if we did an additional count on Saturday or Sunday.
So your opinion that it's not necessary,
Correct.
not needed, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna dive in, the relief that we're seeking. We mentioned respect your plan, I'm sorry, Chair, so Mr. Stimmel will be discussing his planning testimony. I don't know if you want to entertain questions now of his traffic report, or he can continue with his planning testimony.
Well, there are questions for Mr. Stimmel regarding his traffic report from the board. Questions regarding the traffic report from the board.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Hall.
yeah, Mr. Is it Steno?
Stimmel, yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So you said that based on your professional opinion, you disagree that the counts would change over the weekend versus the week, and therefore you didn't do it. And somebody else's opinion is that's from the city, lives in the city, says he thinks it might. Why not have done it?
Well, the extent of the parking variance we're asking for is relatively minor in nature. It's only a couple of spaces, and the amount of labor involved in extending the study for another 8 or 10 hours is pretty extensive. We've asked for similar variances in the past on residential applications in Newark, provided the same scope of study in the same hours, and received the same comment from Mr. Trafficante, and the board has accepted it. If there was a commercial element to the use, I think there might be an argument to make there, but I would not expect that the volumes would change. There's data published by the ITE that shows that parking demand for residential uses is at 100% on weeknights as well as Saturdays as well as Sundays, and those businesses in the area are all closed at those times. So Tuesday, from my experience, is the same as
Thank you,
Saturday.
Mr. Steno. I respect and appreciate your answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
further questions for the witness as a traffic engineer? Are there any
Mr. Chair?
questions? Yes, Commissioner, Vice Chair Monfort.
When you did your study, how does it take into account the public transportation? Because this is a route where the 13, which is the bus that runs on Clinton Place, comes through there. So how do you take into account the flow of public transportation?
So when we go out and do the traffic counts, any vehicles that pass through the intersection that we're counting are included. We do establish a percentage of trucks, heavy vehicles going through the intersection, and that's factored into the capacity analysis, which is what generates the average delay and the letter grades for the different movements. So the buses, delivery trucks, garbage trucks, whatever else is counted and included in the analysis.
So in your traffic study, I believe the garage is on Shepherd for the project.
Yes.
I should have probably asked this to the civil engineer or the architect. Will all those cars be making a right turn only coming out of the garage?
I don't believe there's any indication that the applicant was looking to restrict that movement, and there's nothing from an engineering perspective in terms of sight distance that would pose a safety issue necessarily. So there's no plan to restrict movements there.
I'll come back to the architect and the civil engineer with that, because although it may not be any site obstruction, Shepherd Avenue is a main street in the South Ward that kids travel to go to school, charter school, university, Hawthorne, Weekway. So we get a lot of kids that come up that block. Oftentimes the 13 is delayed because of traffic. So I'll come back to bring the civil engineer and the architect to talk about that. Thank you.
Certainly.
Ms. Moore, I'm wondering if we should just call your engineer back up to resolve with Vice Chair's concern now.
Certainly, I don't know if it's the engineer. It might be Mr. Halsey, but we'll ask the question and see which one wants to answer the question. I know what the questions will be, so I'm trying to get you an answer too.
Hi, we're going to call the engineer back on. I remind you, you're on the oath, sir.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Vice Chair's question?
Yeah, can you just repeat the question one more time, just for clarity?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My concern is I would like to see a right turn only coming out of, as a condition of approval, coming out of the project, simply because this location was always an issue when it been an auto mechanic shop with a car coming out turning left or right on the Clinton Place. There were several accidents there from cars actually coming out to make a left or right onto Clinton Place. So for the safety of the kids who travel to school, I would like the right turn only coming out of the facility and some kind of mechanism to let people know that a car is coming out of the garage.
Right. So to your last statement there, I believe we agreed to implement a safety device, which is common. We've done these many times in Newark. It's an audible and visual alarm for the driveway itself, especially since there's a door that's going to be opening and closing. So when a car is going to be exiting, the alarm goes off and there's a light. So not only audible, but visual to alert any pedestrians or even vehicles that a car is going to be exiting the driveway. And I hear what you're saying. I know you're more familiar with, Newark and the area than I am. However, the intersection in which you're referring to, there is stop signs provided across the street, as well as stop signs provided on Shepherd there, which do provide traffic control. And if someone were to make a right out of the driveway only, they then would have to go around the block to reach Clinton Avenue, which is more of a major road than Shepherd. I think people are trying to get to Clinton Avenue more than Shepherd, so which is more of a major route in connecting the streets. So I feel as though, especially with the number of parking spaces we have, it's only 11 or 13 spaces. It's not like we have 50 cars going to be exiting and leaving the site at a time. So it's a very minimalistic amount of traffic that's entering and leaving the site. So I think we have to take that into account.
So let me stop you here. When I go to a neighborhood outside of an urban area and they redirect me to go to a street and I'm inconvenient, I don't say, oh, I'm inconvenient because I can't reach Mountain Avenue in Clark. I got to go down this, I got to make a right turn. I can't make a left because I don't feel like I'm being inconvenient and they're inconvenient me. So you're saying that you can't do this because it's an inconvenience to someone who wants to get to Clinton Avenue. I can't buy that. Counselor, as a condition of approval, can I get a right turn only?
I didn't say it wasn't possible. I was just saying
Mr. Brani, thank you, Mr. Brani. There's no question to you.
Counselor, Vice Chair, I'll get you a response to that. I just want to confirm with the client.
Thank you.
The answer is yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair, and thank you on behalf of your applicant, Commissioner. Back to Mr. Stimmel. We're moving on to his planning.
That is correct.
Okay, Counsel?
Bill, you can continue your testimony, your planning testimony.
Well, he hasn't started yet.
Sure, I wasn't sure if you were going to tee it up.
Right.
Commence.
Thank you. The site is located in the R3 residential 1 to 4 family zone, primarily residential zone, including single, 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings, as well as townhouses. The proposed low-rise multifamily dwelling is a conditionally permitted use subject to the requirements of Ordinance Section 41:6-2-25, which I will speak about in a minute. Just to give the board an idea of the existing zoning and development pattern in the area, the R3 zone includes the site as well as all lots and blocks within the site for 2 blocks in all directions. There are certainly a number of 1 through 4 family dwellings in the vicinity of the site. You've got the existing auto repair on the subject property, the adjoining apartment building to the east, the Carver Elementary School to the south, and then there's a variety of ground floor retail and service businesses with apartments on the upper floors. In terms of the D variances associated with the application, of course, the D variances are why we're in front of the zoning board. We need a D3 variance for a deviation from the conditional use standards. There's 4 standards for the conditional use. The first is that it has to be on a corner lot. We comply with that. The second is that we are required to have a minimum lot size of 5,000 square feet. We comply with that. The third is that there's a requirement of 500 square feet of lot area per dwelling unit. So we deviate from that standard. The previous proposal with 20 units had a density of 1 unit per 398 square feet. We've increased that to 442 square feet per dwelling unit. So we've gone from meeting about 78% of the required area to about 88% of the required area. And then finally, the ground floor commercial uses shall be permitted in a low-rise multifamily building, provided that conditions 1 and 2 are met. Not applicable here. We're not proposing a commercial use with this application. So for the positive criteria to justify this variance relief, the applicant has to show that the site remains appropriate for the proposed use in spite of the deviation from the conditional use standard. The other side of the coin, the negative criteria, the applicant has to demonstrate that the deviation from the conditional use standard does not result in a substantial detriment to the public good and does not cause substantial impairment to the zone plan and zoning ordinance. And if it does, can the board impose conditions to mitigate these detriments and impairments? The other D variance is the D5 variance for the density, which again, 500 square feet per dwelling unit is permitted, 442 square feet per dwelling unit is proposed. And the standard is similar here. The positive criteria requires a demonstration that the site can continue to accommodate the proposed use in spite of the deviation from the density standard. And the negative criteria, again, goes to the substantial detriment and substantial impairment resulting from the density exceeding what is permitted. So the considerations for both D variances are the same since they both come back to that density issue. For the positive criteria, we have to look at what are the city's concerns in imposing a density limit. The first and most obvious probably is the intensity of the use. And here we have a minor deviation from the permitted density. We're at 442 square feet per dwelling unit, whereas 500 is the minimum. So we're at about 88% of the requirement. The intensity of this apartment use is far less than the auto repair. The traffic, what's the traffic generated by the site? And I briefly went through the traffic study. It's a minor generator of traffic, which does not have an impact on the surrounding roadway. You're looking at about 8 trips during the critical peak hour, which is negligible given the volume of traffic on the surrounding roadway network. Parking. The majority of the site parking is going to be provided on the subject property. The overflow parking can be accommodated either by the available street parking or the off-site parking that is being leased. And then finally, the size of the building. The building generally complies with the zoning requirements in terms of the height, setbacks, coverages, etc. There are deviations for the front yard setback to Clinton where 10 feet is required, 3 feet is proposed. And to the side yard to the south where 5 feet is required, 3.5 feet is proposed. Would note that because of the way the property line and the side of the building are oriented, that 3.5 foot measurement only applies to the front corner of the building at that location. The space widens as the two lines move apart from each other the further you travel back. So once you get halfway back along that building facade, we do comply with the side yard setback in that location. So that's the positive criteria. The negative criteria is there a substantial detriment or substantial impairment related to the density, and can we impose conditions to mitigate those detriments? Based on my review of the plans that have been submitted, the testimony provided, and the surrounding area, I see no substantial detriment or impairment related to these variances. There were a number of conditions mentioned in Mr. Hazel's December 26th letter, which we have agreed to comply with. First, and as in all applications, we'll comply with the engineering conditions. We have agreed to reduce the number of units to bring it closer to the permitted density. We've reduced from 20 to 18. We've modified the layout to provide 3-foot setbacks on each of the street frontages. And we have increased the building transparency on the non-street facing sides, or in this case, provided testimony. Mr. Halsey spoke about the amount of transparency on the street frontages and some of the difficulty associated with doing that on the non-street facing side. But each of the bedrooms does provide adequate light based on the plans that have been designed. And as far as the aesthetics on the public facing side of the building, we have addressed the transparency requirements. There are also a number of C variances associated with the application. And I'm taking this from the board planner's last review letter dated December 26th, which has not been, of course, updated to reflect the recently revised plans. The front yard setback to Clinton Place, 10 feet is required. 0 feet was the prior proposal. We've improved that to 3 feet, so still a variance, but less so. The minimum front yard setback to Shepherd Avenue, 3 feet is required. 0 feet was proposed. 3 feet is now proposed based on the revised plan, so we comply. We've eliminated that variance. The minimum side yard setback to the south, 5 feet is required, 3.5 is proposed. I spoke about that a moment ago. Maximum lot coverage, 70% permitted. We had proposed 72% with the 3-foot setbacks. That's now reduced to 68%, so we comply. The maximum impervious coverage, 75% permitted. 80% was proposed. We've reduced that to the 75% limit, so we comply with that. And then the building transparency, non-street facing side, 20% is required, 10% is proposed. And finally, the parking. It had been 20 parking spaces required. With the reduction in units, that's down to 18. Considering the EV charging, that's further reduced to 16 spaces, and the deficiency is 5, not 7, which had been the prior proposal. So those 5 spaces don't factor in that we are restoring 1 or possibly 2 on-street parking spaces based on the elimination of curb cuts, and would be addressed by the available off-site parking on the public roadway network and also the off-site parking at 308 Clinton Place. In terms of the justification for the C variances, this would come under the heading of a flexible C, where the benefits in granting the variance outweigh any detriments. I found 2 purposes of zoning that are advanced by this application. First is the provision of new housing stock, the provision of affordable housing within the context of this development, and perhaps most importantly, the elimination of that non-conforming auto repair use from the subject property. We're replacing it with multifamily, which is conditionally permitted and, as discussed, fairly close to meeting all those conditional use requirements. We are also promoting a desirable visual environment by providing a beautiful new building, the different treatments to the building facades, the articulation, the windows, the materials, the additional landscaping that's provided with that 3-foot setback, and the fact that the parking is effectively hidden by the building. I know that the aesthetic considerations are always something that's somewhat objective, but I would hope that all the board members agree that what is proposed here is a substantial upgrade over what exists on the property right now. And then again, with the C variances, the negative criteria that the variance can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good, and that it will not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zone plan and zoning ordinance. And again, based on my review, I see no substantial detriment or impairment. Site currently is occupied by a non-conforming use. What we're proposing is conditionally permitted in the zone. The height complies, the building coverage complies. It's a limited generator of traffic. The parking is addressed through on-site and off-site parking. We're providing upgrades to lighting, landscaping, and drainage. We are adding building amenities in the lounge, in the exercise room, the in-unit washers and dryers, the building elevator. It's all going to represent a substantial investment in the neighborhood and a substantial upgrade over what exists on the property right now. So with that said, I would be happy to try and address any questions the board might have regarding the planning aspects.
Council, anything further from this witness?
Nothing further from Mrs. Stimmel.
Are there questions from the board for Mr. Stimmel as in his role as planner? Questions for Mr. Stimmel as planner from the board? Are there questions from members of the public for this witness as in his capacity as a planner? If so, please use the raised hand feature. You can find it at the bottom of your computer screen or mobile device. If you're on the phone, please press *9. I'd ask you to do so now, please. I see no raised hands. Council, you have another witness?
I have no further witness at
At this time, I'd like to provide an opportunity for members of the public to make a statement. If you care to make a statement regarding this application, please use the raise hand feature again at the bottom of your computer screen or a mobile device. If you're on the phone, please press *9. I'd ask you to do so now, please. I see no raised hands. Council.
Yes, Chair. So just briefly, you've heard
Excuse me, Mr.
testimony
Chair,
tonight.
you have a raised hand.
Oh, there was a raise.
I
Okay.
do? Oh, I do. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
I do see a raised hand. So there's a raised hand. Screen name iPhone. Can you unmute yourself and turn your camera on?
Yes,
Hi, you want to make a statement regarding this case?
yes. I wanted to make a
Okay,
statement.
could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes,
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, sir.
Please state your name and your address, please.
Talia Butler. I live at 225 Shepherd Avenue, Newark, New
Thank you.
Jersey.
Thank you, Ms. Butler. Your statement for the record, please.
I just wanted to say I think it would be a great idea to bring this new construction to Clinton Place and take away that old, look that was there. And I've been in the community for 30 years, and I think it would be a great idea to bring some life back to that corner, back to the community. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Butler. Council.
So I would be brief. I think our experts, our planner, our civil engineer and architect have demonstrated that this proposed project is more in line than what's been there. We're providing a residential project that's going to create new housing opportunities, affordable units, aesthetically by design of the building, as Mr. Hazel indicated, stepping the building back to provide a better environment. I think we've demonstrated based on the Coventry standards, when you're talking about conditional uses or density, that the site can accommodate the use, and I would ask that the board grant the approvals tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now in discussion. May I have discussion from the board?
Chair.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes, I think the applicant put on a good application. Their professionals were thorough on all of the issues. I know that area very well. That will be a refreshing look, as the person from the community indicated, in that particular neighborhood, and I hope that there will be more projects like this that come there. In fact, I grew up in that area, so very pleased to see that. The applicant really responded to our planner's suggestions. And for those reasons, I'm going to be in favor of this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Comments from the board? Commissioner Monfort, Vice Chair Monfort.
Yes, the site in question for this project is pretty much an eyesore on that corner in the neighborhood. I think the project is a good project. It's not overreaching for the space, because when you look at the space, it's actually larger than what it appears. But I would be in favor of it because it's just the right amount of apartments to go there, and it will bring some positive light to that corner.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any other comments from the board? Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, may I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Ribeiro. Commissioner Hall.
Motion. Oh,
Somebody.
Motion to approve ZBA -25-39 located at 292-296 Clinton Place. 52 Sharp. Oh no. Well, it is there too, right? But with all conditions mentioned on file.
Okay, we have a motion to approve with conditions, Commissioner Rivera. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hall. Call the roll, please.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivero,
Yes.
Vice Chair Mumford, Vice Chair Mumford,
Yes.
Chair Alphonse.
Yes. We need site plan approval. Council, would you agree to conditional preliminary approval and conditional final site plan approval? That condition being that your applicant meet all conditions placed on the record today to the agreement of our planner and board professionals.
Yes, we will. Yes, I will.
You can always come back if you can't reach an agreement. May I have a motion for conditional preliminary and conditional final site plan approval?
Move it.
Motion.
Second.
Move it. I thought it was Vice Chair Montford who then seconded it, but I think it was seconded before that by Commissioner Hall. So call the roll, please.
Wait a minute, Commissioner, Chair.
Yes.
That we'll get a motion to Hall and I'll second.
Okay. Switch
Thank you.
to motion to Hall, second to Montford. Call the roll, please.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivero,
Yes.
Vice Chair Mumford,
Yes.
Chair Alphonse.
Yes, congratulations. Your application and preliminary conditional site plan approvals have been granted.
Thank you so much. Thank you, board members. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Call the next case, please.
The time is now 8:16 p.m. The next item on tonight's agenda is ZBA-25-56, located at 253-261 Orange Street, Block 2862, Lot 20, in the Central Ward. The applicant is Gomes Dynasty LLC. In the Broad Street Station redevelopment plan, Subdistrict B, the applicant proposes a new 16-story building with 85 units with tenant amenities. Applicant is seeking a D6 height variance and C variances for insufficient lot size. Site plan approval is required.
The Board of Adjustment made the following findings of fact with respect to 253-261 Orange Street. It's located in Newark's downtown neighborhood on the northwestern corner of Orange and Nesbitt Streets. The total site area is approximately 6,379 square feet. The surrounding land uses are a mix of mixed use and surface parking lots with detached residential properties located further to the west. Council, is your entire team in?
They are not. I'm just, Madam Secretary, can bring in Christian Cueto, our civil engineer, Marcella Traina, our planner, Pedro Gomes, probably under Pedro, and I think my architect is in, I believe, Noel, is Noel in yet? Noel Musio? Here he is, I see him, yes. I don't, if you could bring Christian Cueto, he's our civil engineer. And for the record, good evening again. Marcia Moore from the law firm of Post
Hold
Pollock
on,
on
Ms.
behalf of
Moore.
the applicant.
Hold on,
Post-
Ms. Moore. I know
Sorry.
you're very eager. Are there any objectors on this application? If you're an objector on this application, please identify yourself by raising your hand. You can do that by using the raise hand feature at the bottom of your screen. If you're on the telephone, please press *9. I'd ask you to do so now. And I have to excuse myself for personal reasons, nothing to do with this case. I'd ask Vice Chair Monford to assume the chair. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night. Vice Chair Mark, do you want me to commence to start?
Hold on, I'm seeing one hand up.
Okay.
There's a calling user. Are you objector or supporter? Calling user. Hello?
Oh, yes. Yes, hello. I am objecting.
You an objector?
Yes, sir.
Let the record show we have one objector on calling. You may start.
And for the record, good evening again. Marcia Moore from the law firm of Post Pollock on behalf of the applicant Gomes Dynasty LLC. We're here before you tonight for preliminary and final site plan for a D6 height variance related bulk relief for property located at 253, 261 Orange Street. The site was formerly comprised of 3 lots that have been merged and has frontage on Orange Street and Nesbitt Street and located in the Broad Street Station redevelopment area. Subdistrict B, which is the Orange Street retail corridor. The uses permitted, multifamily residential developments are permitted as principal uses. And under this redevelopment plan, no parking is required or proposed. Just a big mix of a quick overview of the project. This is an application for a mixed income residential development designed to replace an underutilized surface parking lot with a high-intensity, transit-oriented project that advances the city's redevelopment objectives. Specifically, you'll hear tonight that this project seeks a height variance to permit a 16-story, 172-foot building in the redevelopment plan, which requires a D6 height variance. And due to the size of the lot, we're also seeking bulk relief with respect to the lot area. There are also some comments that our plan will be addressing with respect to some changes required by engineer pertaining to the shade tree, but we'll be addressing. We're seeking no other relief. This, again, we're not seeking a D1 use variance. It is permitted in the redevelopment plan. This project proposes 85 residential units on floors located 2 through 15, 17 of which will be income restricted pursuant to the IZO, the inclusionary zoning of the city ordinance, tenant amenity spaces, which our architect will discuss. And it's important to note when you're here tonight that the design of this building, it takes into account the architectural design intended to function as a gateway building at one of the city's most visible entrances. You'll hear from our team that this project, basically the design, the visibility is right on 280 where it fronts on Branchwood Park. And under the redevelopment plan, it talks about gateway modes with this specific streets, this corner, Orange and Nesbitt, being the gateway and the visibility and the prominence on this location. Our architect will be discussing the design of the building named after the developer who's Pedro Gomes. Mr. Gomes is well known to this board, well respected in the city of Newark as a developer that builds his project. He doesn't come to the board or ask for project, he builds his project. So tonight, we are asking for the height variance. We'll hear from our planner. When you're talking about a height variance, it's more of a relaxed standard. And that's the Grosso standard that our planner will be addressing tonight. Just briefly, I just wanted to address that when my client was looking to purchase this property and doing his due diligence, the city's official tax map, zoning map rather, indicated that this project was located in a different site. It indicated that it was located in the subdistrict A, which permits unlimited height. And by no reason am I bringing this up to indicate that there's an estoppel argument or that the board should approve us because the city zoning map was inaccurate, which I know has been historically been accurate. We as the attorneys and everybody else, professionals, do look at the map to decide whether or not what zone this in, and it says that it was in a different district or different sub-district where permits unlimited height. And I want to take that into consideration of what drove this design of the building because it indicated we had unlimited height. But notwithstanding that, it is our intention tonight to demonstrate that this proposed height is consistent with the redevelopment plan when we talk about a gateway and it being visible along that Orange Street in Nesbit, and we intend to prove that. Just briefly before I begin my testimony, I am in receipt of the planner's report dated February 25th, 2026. We take no objection. I believe that there are 2 comments and that Mr. Hazel asked us to demonstrate that we meet the variances, which we intend to do. We're also in receipt of the water and sewer comments today. We have no objection as those being conditions of approval. And we're also in receipt of the engineer memorandum dated March 5th, 2026. We have no objection to that. Mr. Trafficante has asked us to elicit some certain testimony regarding technical items that our civil engineer will be providing. And notice all the statutory notices have been provided. We posted a sign in multiple frontages, notice in the property owners, and notice to the newspaper. So at this time, I would like to bring my first witness, Noel Musial, our architect.
Counsel,
Yes.
I know you plan to bring your architect, but I want to do something a little different.
Okay.
Could you bring your, because
You want my engineer?
Your engineer, because you're addressing Mr. Trafficante's information.
Okay.
So let's address those and
That
get it
that
out
is
the way so
fine.
we can go forward.
I'm interested you said that. So we were thinking about that as well. So I'd like to bring Christian Cueto, our civil engineer.
Mr. Cueto.
I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to affirm that testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your affiliation for the record.
Christian Cueto, Cueto. I am the civil engineer for this project for Harbor Consultants, 320 North Avenue East in Cranford.
Counsel, can you please qualify your witness?
Yeah. So Mr. Cueto, could you state your employment and your educational background?
Yes, I am a project manager at Harbor Consultants. I have a degree from NJIT in civil engineering. My license is in good standing. I've been in front of multiple boards. I've been in front of this board, I believe, in 2023.
And what license do you hold?
Civil engineering.
And is your license current?
Yes.
Okay.
We would accept him as a civil engineer.
So Mr. Cueto, you're familiar with the plans, correct?
Yes.
If you can share your screen, we provided these plans. If you can share your screen, and just give us an overview of the existing conditions. And then I know there are comments by Mr. Trafficante, but I just want the board to get oriented to the site.
Sure. Please let me know when you can see my screen.
Not yet.
There it is. Okay, it's loading. Apologize. Okay. Can everybody see?
It's getting there, but it's not showing.
Okay. Closing out every other window on my on my
There we
computer.
go. You can
Okay.
zoom so we can see at least I can't see it.
You get a little bigger.
We have the glasses on, but we can't see that yet.
So I'm getting
That's
the
better.
spit.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go to sheet 2 of our, unless you want to go over the bulk table first.
If we could go over the bulk table, I want to give an overview. I mentioned the location in the introduction by Chair Montford. Give that we are in the Nesbit, but just kind of orient before we go into your sheet 2.
Okay. Dude. Okay. Okay. So this is a multifamily for the permitted use. It's presently vacant, and we are proposing a again 16-story, 84-unit multifamily. The minimum lot size for this for subdistrict B is 10,000 square feet, and the existing is 66,379, which is also proposed, and that's um, an existing nonconformity. The front yard setback is 0 feet. Existing is not applicable. Proposed is 0 feet. And we comply. The minimum side yard is there is none, but if there is any on the adjacent property of 3 feet of existing windows or doors, but existing is not. There's nothing, and proposed is 0, and we comply. For minimum rear yard, again, none is required. There's nothing in the existing, and 0 feet in the proposed, and that complies. Maximum height is 85 feet. We are proposing 172 feet, which is a variance. Minimum ground floor height is 16 feet. It's not. There's nothing on the site presently, and we are proposing 16 feet for that, and that complies. For the facade transparency, 75% minimum, and we are proposing 75% minimum, and that complies. We are not proposing any parking, but no parking is required because of the subdistrict B. And for shade trees, believe we are, even though it says 8 trees, we are only proposing 6 trees, which is, we are requesting a variance for that.
You can continue, Christian. So if you can show sheet 2 and walk through the civil plans and also the survey. You have the
Sure.
survey?
The survey is technically the existing conditions plan. As I zoom out a bit so I can. Okay. That's the L&D. Okay. Here we go. Project site consists of 3 contiguous lots comprising the entirety of block 2872, formerly lots 18, 19, and 20, now lot 20. The surrounding area is a mixture of residential mixed-use buildings and parking areas. Building heights in the surrounding neighborhood generally range from several stories to a larger multi-story structures, reflecting the evolving redevelopment pattern within this portion of the city. Currently, the site is fenced, vacant lot, and utilized as an unpaved parking area containing primarily disturbed ground and remnants of prior development.
Excuse me, Mr. C, can you enlarge that?
Oh, sure.
Christian, it looks like you went back to another sheet.
Yeah, I know. My computer is being so slow. I apologize again. Is that better?
It's a little bit better. We can't read anything or really see any lines. There you go. That's better.
Okay.
That's better that we could see something.
Okay. Let me see. The site is located along Orange Street and Nesbitt Street with previous improvements, including sidewalks, curbing, and varying condition, with access to existing utilities along Orange Street and Nesbitt Street. Due to the location near a major regional transportation corridor, the property represents an important visual point for travelers entering and exiting the city from I-280. There is an existing utility pole as well as a freestanding sign with concrete bases on site. The applicant will work with the electrical company to remove the pole and any electrical line as needed. The freestanding sign and the existing fence around the perimeter of the property will be removed. Based on the existing survey, there are no existing easements related to the electric utility, the signage, or the fencing presently for the site. Lastly, the site is within walking distance to several light rail stations. All right, I'm going to go to sheet 3. Which is our layout and dimensioning plan. Okay. The applicant is proposing to construct a 16-story residential building with 85 units, which will occupy almost the entirety of the development parcel. The property is located within the Broad Street Station Transit Sub-District B. The first floor of the building is going to be lobby, utility, amenity space. Because it's in the Sub-District B, no parking is required, which is why there's nothing on the first floor of the site. The project will include new concrete curb and sidewalk improvements along both Orange Street and Nesbitt Street. The curb and sidewalks will be constructed to current municipal standards and will improve pedestrian circulation, accessibility, and safety along these frontages. There is an existing ADA located along the intersection of Orange and Nesbitt, and the applicant agrees to reconstruct the ramp in accordance with PROAG and ADA standards. We are proposing 6 street trees along both street frontages surrounding the building. These trees will enhance the pedestrian walkway and improve the overall visual character of the block.
So I just want to add something. I know we have our planner will be discussing the shade trees, the deviation or relief that we're seeking. We did have a TRC on this, and there were some comments regarding that. But we are asking for relief on the shade tree. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I'll let you continue. I do want to kind of go back to that survey first before
Oh, sure.
you finish, because I think it goes in line rather than us jumping around. One of the comments are certain encroachments that are referenced on page 2 of Charlie Michapicanti's engineering report. Majority of them, they will be removed. So the question is whether or not there are any easements or respect to that utility pole. All of these chain link fence and encroachments will be removed. Is that correct?
That's correct. And based on the survey, it doesn't appear that there was any easements located or identified on the survey previously. They just the utility and the signages were just over the existing right of way as an existing condition.
So that chain link fence that's in the public right of way again will be removed.
That's correct.
Concrete base or old signage, but perhaps may have been an advertising sign, that's going to also be removed.
That is correct.
If you can talk, just move it. You had an opportunity to review that memorandum, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I've indicated in my introduction that we would agree to comply as a condition of approval with those comments.
Yes.
And that's also respect to any lighting plan that we do comply with the lighting plan.
Yes.
And if you just talk about any stormwater management, where again, you've noted that we're not seeking any relief as far as impervious or anything else. We meet those requirements on setbacks. We can just talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Going to sheet 4, which is our grading utility. Okay, the project has been designed with stormwater management located beneath the building footprint. The site is less than 10,000 square feet, and this project is not considered a major development. However, the detention system is being proposed and is intended to capture, detain, and manage runoff generated by the development, thereby reducing peak discharge to the existing municipal combined sewer system. By controlling the runoff and attenuating the stormwater flows, the system helps to reduce the stormwater surges entering the combined sewer, improve the downstream infrastructure performance, and support the city's efforts to manage their existing stormwater systems. The applicant will connect the proposed detention system to the existing combined sewer on Nesbitt Street, utilizing a RCP pipe, which was requested by Mr. Traficante. And for the rest of the stormwater comments, we will comply with both the engineer's letter and Mr. Traficante's comments.
And also respect to the water and sewer memorandum we also will comply with those as conditions of approval.
Yes.
I have nothing further, at least Mr. Traficante has questions.
Mr. Traficante.
Yes, Chairman, I just want to, for the record, verify by asking Mr. Cueto two quick questions, please.
Sure.
So in regard to the Department of Engineers report to the Zoning Board of Adjustments dated March 5th, 2026, on page 2 under survey. Correct me if I'm wrong, there are no known overhead utility easements.
No, there's not that it was shown on the survey, and nothing to our knowledge.
And how about underground utility easements, especially the telephone conduit line that comes in off of Nesbitt Street? Are there any underground utility easements within it?
Not that was identified on the survey.
Okay, and what is the future disposition of that underground telephone conduit line that comes in from Nesbitt Street? Does your client reuse it?
No, the applicant's going to work with the electrical company and do whatever they request.
All right, but for the record, there are known overhead or underground utility easements?
No.
All right. No further questions. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just informed they have been removed already.
Oh, the conduits and the pole and the overhead?
Yes.
As well as the fencing, right? And the sign, foundations for the sign that encroach? The base.
I'm unsure of that one. I was just told the electrical was taken down.
All right. Either way, if they haven't already, they will be removed, correct?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Traficante, any more questions?
No, sir.
Have they addressed your engineering report issues?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Traficante. Are there any questions from the board for the engineer? Seeing none. I believe we had, before we move forward, Council, I believe we had some more raised hands. Eddie Adulas. Are you a supporter or objector of this application? Eddie is a supporter. Olivia, are you a supporter or objector of this application? Miss Olivia, could you speak? And for the record, can you speak, please? Say it on the record that you're a supporter. We do not acknowledge the chat. I need you to come on and speak, Miss Olivia. Mr. Adulas, we also need you to come on and speak and on the record that you are the supporter or objector.
I'm a supporter.
Thank you, Miss Olivia.
Thank
You
you.
may put your head down. Ryan Santos, For the record, are you a supporter or objector of this project? Mr. Santos? Brian Santos, sir? Let the record show. Eddie,
Hi, how are you? I'm a
are you a supporter?
yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Wilfredo Flores?
I am a supporter.
Thank you. You may put your hand down.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary, if I'm confirming, I believe we have 4 supporters and one objector.
Yeah.
Thank you. Council, you may continue.
Thank you, Chair. At this time, I'd like to bring my architect, Noel Nucio.
Hello.
Mr. Musio, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your affiliation for the record.
My name is Noel Musial, Musial, with the Musial Group Architects, located at 191 Mill Lane in Mountainside, New Jersey. We're the project architect for the project.
And Michelle, can you just, Mr. Plata, I'll
Uh,
qualify.
Yeah, qualify.
Thank you. If you can state your educational background and what license venue you hold.
Sure. I'm a graduate of Rhode Island School of Design. I hold a Bachelor's of Fine Arts and Bachelor's of Architecture. I am a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey, and I have appeared before this board and others in the state of New Jersey.
And is your license current?
It is, yes.
Expanded?
We will accept.
Thank you.
We will accept him as an architect.
Thank you.
So,
Okay,
Ms. Musial, if you can share your screen, hopefully. Okay.
Can everyone see?
Yes, if you
Okay.
zoom in a little bit more so we can read the lettering on here. Okay.
So as I stated before, the project is located at 253-261 Orange Street, block 2862, lot 20, located at the corner of Orange Street and Nesbitt Street. Project is located within the Broad Street Station District Redevelopment Plan Subdistrict B, though we're initially operating with the understanding that there's location within Subdistrict A, which has differing standards, but we'll touch upon that during the course of our testimony. When we started the design process, in reading the Broad Street Station District Redevelopment Plan, we saw that this particular parcel, this property, was highlighted on pages 78 and 79 of the plan as a powerful marker and entryway with important visibility from Branch Brook Park and the on-off ramps from Interstate 280. So that's from pages 78 and 79. So with that in mind, we sought to think about the project in those terms. Located on this triangular site at the corner of Nesbitt and Orange Street, looking to create a gateway between neighborhoods. It's comprised of 85 residential units and both interior and exterior amenity spaces. On the ground floor, can you see the extent of the plan, or is it cut off?
It's cut off a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
So at the ground floor, the entry to the project is the entrance is off of Orange Street, and on the ground floor there's approximately 1,471 square feet of street-facing amenity spaces, and on the uppermost level there is approximately 1,893 square feet of interior and 974 square feet of exterior amenity spaces. The total proposed project square footage is approximately 96,588 square feet, broken down into 16 floors with an average floor plate of 6,217 gross square feet. The project's 85 unit mix is comprised of 1 studio, 71 one-bedrooms and 13 two-bedroom units with a typical floor plate of 6 units per floor. The studio size is 428 square feet. There are 6 types of one-bedroom units ranging from 528 square feet to 740 square feet. There's one type of a two-bedroom unit whose size is 1,236 square feet. And I'll get into the floor layout. But before I do, on the ground floor consists of 2 elevators and 2 stairs in addition to the amenity spaces, as well as utility spaces for the transformer room, incoming water service, as well as the mail room and package room with trash and recycling rooms. There's also some space for bicycle storage. As part of the project, given our reading of Nesbitt Street within the redevelopment plan as being considered as a bike thoroughfare as a means of connecting neighborhoods, we also are proposing to add some bicycle racks on the streetscape as well. So as we move up to the upper floors, this is a typical floor plate from floors 2 through 14. This consists of, again, six units per floor, 5 one-bedroom units and 1 two-bedroom units. The two-bedroom unit is towards the front, facing east, which is the bottom of the page, with orange on the left-hand portion and Nesbitt on the right-hand portion.
Excuse me, Mr. Mishu, can
Yes,
you
sir.
enlarge that?
Yes. I was, if it's okay, I was going to give a general overview, but I do have enlarged plans of each of the units that I can walk through, or I can do that here if you'd like.
Let's do the enlarged version.
Sure. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me go to skipping all these. Okay. So this are the enlarged versions of each of the unit types.
Come on, Mr. Mishu, bring it a little bigger now. You got a strain in our eyes here.
Okay. I'll zoom in. So this is the studio, and there's one of these on the project, and that is located right here as a key plan. It's 428 square feet with a all of the units are ADA compliant. All of the units have a washer and dryer. All of the units are heated and cooled via a furnace heat pump closet here. So that's the layout of the studio, where we have the kitchenette here, washer and dryer with the living bedroom off to the side. Then the one-bedroom units, they're essentially they're similar. They do get larger in size as you move towards Plan North, as the building geometry gets a bit wider. But the general intention is you'd walk in and you have your kitchen again with all of the appliances I just described. Bedroom. The smallest dimension of a bedroom we have is 10 feet. This one in particular is 10 feet by 11'2", with a living room and a bathroom here. And as we move to the other one-bedroom configuration, entrance, washer and dryer off to the side with an entry coat closet, restroom, bathroom with the shower, again, all ADA compliant, with a bedroom 11'2" by 11'7" with a walk-in closet, living room and kitchen. So they're relatively similar. This is towards the Plan North portion of the building. As you can see the shaded area here, where this one particular bedroom faces north, and you would enter here with the bedroom to your right, and the kitchenette, kitchen is as you enter the unit with the ADA compliant bathroom there. What we were trying to do was try to really maximize the views and the light of each one of these units. The windows are expensive, and we'll demonstrate that in the renderings, trying to promote a bright and airy space for each one of these units. This is the essentially mirror image of that unit, where you would walk in and have views to the east over Nesbitt Street, and then we have the kitchen with a living room here and the bedroom to your left. And then let me go to the next So this is where we get to the planned south units. This one bedroom unit is really only present on the uppermost floor where the studio is present. For the most part, we have, on most floor plates, we have this 2-bedroom, but I'll talk about the 1-bedroom for now. So as you would enter, you'd have your bedroom here. The minimum dimension here is 9'10", but it does get larger as you move back. You'd walk in with kind of a dining nook, restroom with the HVAC unit here, washer and dryer with the kitchen here, and the living towards the corner of the building. And then similarly, this 2-bedroom unit, which is on the majority of the floor plates, is 1,236 square feet. It is where we previously saw that the studio and the 1-bedroom, this is essentially a combination of the two to create the 2-bedroom, where you would walk in, you have your entry closet, washer and dryer. To the right, you have a bedroom and a restroom. And then as you go towards the left, which is towards the corner of the building, another bedroom with its own closets and restroom, and then the kitchen and living room similar to the previous unit towards the corner of the building, looking down Orange Street. And then finally, the last 1-bedroom unit, which is 692 square feet. As you would walk in, you have your HVAC and closet, ADA compliant bathroom, living room, kitchen, and then bedroom with a closet within that space. So those are the unit types, and most of the units, as I said, most of the floor plates are consistent until you get up to the uppermost floor plate, uppermost residential floor plate, which has that 1-bedroom and the studio. But the majority of them have the 2-bedroom here at the corner. And then as you get to the floor above that, we do have some amenity spaces, both interior and exterior. And really what we were thinking is that given that we have mechanical space and room for a generator, given that the building, we would require that the mechanical space be screened off and the stairs would extend, we thought that it might be appropriate to have the coping of the building consistent around the entirety of the perimeter. And essentially that's what enclosed this. It's currently labeled office, but it would be an amenity space for the tenants with the exterior roof deck bound within that space as well. Each floor has, as I said, 2 stairs, the 2 elevators, and the trash chute, which goes down to the ground floor trash room. So the building is 172 feet to the top of the coping. I'm going to go to the elevations here, and then I'll jump to the renderings after I describe the materiality here. The ground floor is 16 feet. The majority of the floor plates are 10-foot floor to floor, with the upper 2 being 12 feet to accommodate increased dimension to accommodate the elevator overrun, the rooftop terrace assembly thickness, and for ductwork routing. In terms of the building materials were chosen for their durability, their longevity, as well as their ability to register at a number of scales, be it the pedestrian scale as you're walking by, or to how the perception of them changes during seasonal and daily different sun angles. So the majority of the facade is comprised of pigmented concrete panels utilizing dark green pigment with dark exposed aggregate in a honed surface at the base, at the street level, and lighter, smaller aggregate for the floors above, which, the intention would be that coupled with, you'll see in the renderings, that the geometry of these panels between the windows is angled kind of to emulate the geometry of the building as a whole, and to pick up the different sun characteristics as the sun moves around the building, to kind of have the building characteristics change over the course of a day or and season. So with that, I think that's in terms of the plans. I'll bring up the renderings now, if that's okay. And So this is a view looking north. This is the building here, and I guess this would be the first
Hold on,
exhibit.
Mr.
It will be
Russo.
A1.
Would
Okay.
this be exhibit A1?
Yes, sir.
That's correct, yes.
Let the record show this is exhibit A1.
And then just identify A1, the view of just qualifications.
Sure.
I know we have different view vantage points. We just want to make sure that what is that depicting?
Absolutely. So this is south of the building, looking north, with the Borden milk factory to the right, Arbol to the left. Nesbitt Street is really the corner of Nesbitt Street and Orange Street, with the colonnade and the cathedral in the background. This, I guess, would be A2, which is an annotated rendered view of the same view, just depicting from what we found from Wikipedia the heights of the adjacent context buildings, with First King Apartments and Garden Spires being 20 stories at 186 feet, Colonnade at 201 feet, and the Cathedral Towers at 232, with the spire at 260, with our building at being 172 feet.
So the context in providing this is that really showing that in the existing area, the neighborhood, there are buildings above what we're proposing as part of this application, correct?
That's
in
correct,
terms
yes.
of not only stories, but in terms of height, linear
Correct.
feet.
Yes, yes. This is, I guess, would be A3, and it is a depiction looking west along Orange Street, with the Borden factory in the foreground, with the proposed building in the background, with the Colonnade Apartments on the right-hand side. Again, trying to consider this as a gateway at that interchange. And then again, this would be A4. This is at the corner of Nesbitt and Orange, Orange being at the left-hand portion of the page, Nesbitt being at the right, with Colonnade Apartments in the background. We're utilizing the streetscape section from the Broad Street Station District redevelopment plan, where it describes the intention of having Nesbitt Street act as a bike thoroughfare. So that's what we're depicting that here, as well as the proposed planting at the base of the building, as well as the tree pits and planters and street trees. Initially, we had 8 street trees during the TRC meeting. It was decided upon to take out 2 of the trees towards the corner to promote this more as a focal point. That to highlight and express the building. So we're really trying to promote large degree of transparency and being able to see and the activity that's happening in the amenity spaces, at the streetscape level, at the entrance. And then finally, we have the entry along Orange Street with and I'm sorry, this would be A5, which would be a front elevation rendered view along Orange Street at the entrance. And then A6 is the same view with the annotated materials. And here we can see that at the base, it would be the pigmented green concrete with the exposed aggregate in kind of a honed finish, and the lighter aggregate of the concrete, still pigmented green, above, with the intention being that, and as you can see, the geometry of the wall panels are kind of angled, and with the intention being that the aggregate would pick up the light of the sun and glisten and have different characteristics during the different times of the day and seasons. Something to note that we thought we're trying to respond to the Colonnade Apartments that are, just going back to here, the detailing that they use across the street, across 280 for the Colonnade, and having those projected mullions, trying to have a dialogue in that to that building, in a sense of we're inverting the reveal here, to try to pick up and speak to that existing condition. And I think that something to note is Mr. Gomes is naming the project after his son, and I think that that really is indicative of his approach in thinking about these projects on a generational scale, and developing projects that are going to endure and contribute to the fabric of the community. So that's the extent of what I have to present here.
I do want to just briefly touch on something, because throughout your testimony, you're talking about the design and you've mentioned this gateway and providing prominence of visibility. How does this height achieve that? As far as you're coming down 280 and you see this building, how does this make this concept of the nodes on Orange Street and Nesbitt that bring that gateway concept under the redevelopment plan?
Sure. So I do think that, with this being at the intersection, and especially I think that this vantage point can express that as well as here, it does highlight the fact that you're potentially entering a gateway to another neighborhood. And with it being at an intersection of these various streets, its height does present itself as a landmark within the city, to enable people to orient themselves. I think, it's also with respect to, the building, Hoyt Street, which is, the Hoyt, which is down Nesbitt Street coming towards us off the page, which is a similar height. I think that there's starting to become a dialogue between all of these buildings of these heights to start to orient people towards the different neighborhoods of the city.
And that's the 15-story building that you're referring to
Yes.
along Sussex and Hoyt? Okay.
Yes.
I have nothing further at this time.
Are there any questions from the board for the architect? Are there any questions from the city professionals for the architect? Are there any questions from the supporter? From the objector for the architect?
Hello, yes?
You have any question? Could you state your name, ma'am?
Yes, my name is Madeline Lobrena.
Do you have a question for the architect? Only a question to the architect's testimony.
I do. Behind the property, what is the setback from the other property line?
Well, I'll bring up the plan. We have 0 feet. Let me bring up the plan. So I think we're 2 inches. If you're talking about the plan north, where my cursor is now, we're 2 inches here and 3'1", and let me go to the floor above, and 3'1" at that indentation.
Is there an easement being requested for this?
No.
And that is what is required setback for this type of structure?
Yes, it's allowed, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the supporters for the architect? Hearing none. Mr. Musil.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this space is adequate enough and the size of the apartments are adequate?
I do. I think that they are efficient. I think that let me just bring up I'll zoom in. I think the quality of the light helps contribute to these spaces feeling bright and airy. I don't think I don't think any of the rooms are under 10 feet, which is adequate and more than adequate. I think we try not to go less than 10 feet, but I think we try to err on the side of being comfortable, and I don't think these are really squeezed in. I think they're efficient, but I don't think they're tight.
What is the city's requirement?
For 1-bedroom units?
Yes.
The redevelopment, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't believe there is one.
The redevelopment plan does not have unit sizes for this one or on the ordinance. There are bedroom requirements as far as building code, but you do meet those requirements. Is that correct, Mr. Music?
Absolutely, yes.
As
Yes.
far as building code?
Yes.
And just wanted the testimony that you've said indicated that you do have some of these unit sizes, at least some of the one bedrooms over 700 square feet, some of the,
That's correct. There's this unit type,
and
692. There's
very,
one.
and very spacious 2 bedrooms that are over 1,200 square feet, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Musu. There's a question from Eddie Adulas.
Hey, good
State your
evening,
name
everybody.
for the record.
My name is Eddie Andalus. I just wanted to make a comment in support of the project.
This is not the time for comments or support. This is only time to ask questions in reference to Mr. Musu's testimony towards the application. We will come back to you where we will give you the opportunity to make your comment towards the project. If
Thank
you have
you.
a question for Mr. Musu in reference to what he testified, you can ask that question, but no statements or comments at this time.
Okay, I will wait. Thank you.
Thank you. Counsel, you may call your next professional.
So yes, at this time, I'd like to call our planner, Marcella Trina.
Yes, Ms. Trainer, do you solemnly swear to affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your affiliation for the record.
Marcella Traina, last name Traina. I'm a professional planner with Stonefield Engineering and Design at 92 Park Avenue in Rutherford, New Jersey.
Counsel.
And Ms. Traina, can you just provide your educational background and what license venue you hold?
Certainly, I'm a licensed professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I'm also a member of the American Institute of Certified Planners. Both my license and certification are in good standing. I received my bachelor's degree from Rutgers University, and I've been accepted as an expert before this board and the Newark Planning Board, as well as other boards throughout the state of New Jersey.
We accept Ms. Trainer as a professional planner.
Thank you.
So Ms. Traina, before you commence your planning testimony tonight, if you just for the board, again, what documents, if any, and reports have you had an opportunity to review in anticipation of your testimony tonight?
Certainly. So I reviewed the site and architectural plans that were submitted as part of this application. I reviewed the zoning ordinance, the master plan, the redevelopment plan, the review letters from the board's professionals, aerial imagery, and I also visited the subject site.
And you're familiar with the site?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you can just give us, you've heard testimony from our civil engineer. They discuss the project description, the architectural, but from a planning standpoint, just briefly start with the project description, and then you can talk about the redevelopment plan and its adherence to that plan.
Certainly. And actually I'd like to share my screen of an aerial exhibit. And just let me know when you can all see that.
Yes, I believe we're up to A7, Mr. Plata. If we can mark that as the aerial exhibit prepared by Stonefield. And the date on this, March 12th?
Yes, correct. So you'll see this is an aerial exhibit prepared by Stonefield, and you have the subject property is outlined in magenta in the center of the screen, and you'll notice that this lot is triangular in shape. It is at the intersection of Orange Street and Nesbitt Street. Now, the subject property is located within Subdistrict B of the Broad Street Station District Redevelopment Plan, and the redevelopment plan specifically identifies this district as an area that should absorb significant residential growth, noting that it has the capacity to accommodate at least 5,000 additional residents, effectively doubling the population of the district. Now, as you can see on this aerial, the subject property is triangular, and under existing conditions, the site currently does not have a principal structure. And conditions like this are exactly what the Newark master plan seeks to address. In fact, the master plan notes that 40% of respondents indicated that redevelopment of vacant lots and buildings would have the greatest impact on improving their perception of safety within their neighborhood. In terms of the surrounding neighborhood, the area is already experiencing some redevelopment. Immediately nearby is the Arbol by Gomes mixed-use building, which is a recently constructed mixed-use residential building. The site is also located near the Borden Factory building, along with several mixed-use buildings and a number of vacant and underutilized properties that are expected to redevelop over time. The redevelopment plan specifically calls out this intersection. And again, echoing the architect from earlier, it states that the corner of Nesbitt and Orange should be a powerful marker and entryway with its important visibility from Branch Brook Park and the on and off ramps of Interstate 280. It further states that the Orange Street corridor should be anchored by two gateway nodes formed at the intersection with Nesbitt Street on the west and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard on the east. Now, in order to achieve that vision, the applicant is proposing a 16-story residential building containing 85 dwelling units. And to do so, the applicant is requesting a D6 height variance as well as a C variance for the minimum lot area. Now, given the unique characteristics of this lot, including its triangular shape, the multiple frontages, and this highly visible corner location, a taller building is an appropriate way to develop this site and achieve the redevelopment plan's vision of creating a strong visual marker at this intersection. Now, from this site, you can clearly see the 21-story Colonnade apartments to the north, the 15-story Hoyt Tower apartments to the southeast, and the 21-story Pavilion apartments to the northeast. This proposed building would fit within that existing context and contribute to that skyline with a well-designed residential building, which is going to feature large windows and an attractive facade on all sides. Now, with respect to the requested height variance, a D6 height variance is evaluated under a somewhat relaxed standard. So as established in the Grasso versus Borough of Spring Lake Heights case, when you're considering a height variance, the board's primary focus is whether the site can accommodate the problems associated with the building that exceeds the permitted height. Now, those potential concerns typically relate to issues such as light, air, open space, visual impacts, and the overall character of the surrounding neighborhood. In this case, the site can comfortably accommodate the proposed height. The property is a triangular corner lot with multiple street frontages, which allows light and air to reach the building from several directions. And the building itself follows that triangular geometry, which helps reduce the perception of bulk and avoids creating long continuous building walls. Additionally, the surrounding area already contains several mid and high-rise residential buildings, including the structures ranging from approximately 16 to 22 stories, and therefore the proposed 16-story building will fit comfortably within the existing development pattern and skyline of the area. And finally, the additional height allows the applicant to effectively redevelop a small and irregularly shaped lot within a redevelopment area, specifically intended to accommodate higher residential density development near transit, which is consistent with the goals of the redevelopment plan. The subject lot is 6,379 square feet, whereas the minimum lot size requirement is 10,000 square feet. And because the site is undersized and triangular in shape, the most practical way to create functional and livable residential units is through vertical development on this lot. For those reasons, it's my opinion that the site can accommodate the additional height and that the requested D6 variance satisfies the applicable statutory criteria. The additional height allows the building to accommodate larger residential units with generous floor-to-floor heights while still achieving the housing goals outlined in both the city's master plan and the redevelopment plan. From a site design perspective, the project also enhances the pedestrian environment. The plan proposes 3 street trees along each frontage, carefully located so that they do not interfere with vehicular sightlines. And overall, the development will replace an underutilized parking lot with an attractive residential building that improves the streetscape and contributes to a more pedestrian-oriented environment. Ultimately, it's my opinion that the project represents a significant improvement to the existing site and the surrounding neighborhood. Again, it advances the goals of the redevelopment plan. It's going to activate a highly visible corner and contribute to the continued revitalization of this transit-oriented district. And for those reasons, it's my opinion that the proposal advances several purposes of the municipal land use law, including purposes A, G, and I, and that the benefits of the project substantially outweigh any potential detriments. Again, the use is permitted, and the development of this lot will represent an improvement to the aesthetic conditions of this district. And the project will activate this corner as a prominent marker and gateway, provide high quality housing and transit-oriented redevelopment area, and contribute positively to the existing skyline and character of the neighborhood.
Does that conclude your testimony?
Yes.
Okay, just before I ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Cueto mentioned the relief for the shade tree. If you can just address the shade tree variance.
Yeah, so the shade tree variance, we are providing 3 street trees on each frontage. However, in order to maximize the sight distance at that intersection, we are only able to provide the 3 instead of the 4.
So in lieu, the applicant is willing to pay into the tree fund, is that correct?
Yes.
Is it in your opinion, when we talk about this, the scale, the mass and the height and having visibility and prominence, do you believe that this height, requested height would frustrate the redevelopment plan, or do you think that it meets the objectives of the redevelopment plan?
Not at all. I think this is exactly the type of development that is somewhat envisioned in the redevelopment plan, in the sense that this intersection was specifically called out along with another intersection to serve as the gateway to the Orange Street corridor.
And when we talk about this proximity to 280 and other visual identifiers like Branchbrook Park, can you talk about a little bit how this type of height would achieve those objectives specifically referenced in the redevelopment plan for these 2 corridors or 2 streets?
Yeah, so again, this is a prominent intersection that you would be able to see from Branchbrook Park, as well as other areas of the immediate vicinity of the site. And the fact that you can see several other buildings at this intersection that are up to 21, 22 stories, I think this proposal is going to add to that skyline. And then also with the other intersection that was noted in the redevelopment plan that has effectively no height restrictions, I could see that this building, along with whenever that site ends up being redeveloped, would definitely achieve the goal of providing those entryway marks and somewhat of a landmark to this corridor.
And can you talk about the benefits of this proposed height in terms of the number of units and the goal of providing affordable housing? We did mention that 20% of these units would be affordable. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, certainly. So again, 20% of the units are going to be affordable, which is always a great initiative, brought on by the developer. And it is something that definitely promotes the housing goals of the master plan, as well as creating just more housing units in general. That is something that was recognized in both the master plan and the redevelopment plan. And the redevelopment plan specifically calls out this district as being able to accommodate at least 5,000 additional residential units, which would effectively double the existing population. And I think the proposal here really goes to that intention.
And last but not least, you talked about the Grazo test. The Grazo test, when you talk about a D6 height variance, it's a relaxed standard. It's not the Medici standard, correct? That it's more a flexible standard with conditions or to address, you're not blocking the air and light. Just talk about a little bit about this relaxed standard in the Grazo test.
Yeah, certainly. So with the D6 height variance, as established in the Grasso case, when you're considering a height variance, the board's primary focus is whether the site can accommodate the problems associated with a building that exceeds the permitted height. In this case, we took a look at issues such as light, air, open space, visual impacts, and the overall character of the surrounding neighborhood. And we didn't see any potential detriment in terms of going against that goal there. As I mentioned, this is a corner property. It's very unique in nature in terms of its geometry, and that is going to allow the light, air, and open space and it's going to reduce the perception of bulk and avoid creating a long continuous building wall.
Thank you so much.
Counselor, that ends your questions?
That is my last witness, and that concludes my questions, yes.
Are there any questions from the board for the planner? Are there any questions from the professionals for the planner? Are there any questions from the objector for the planner? Hearing none. Counsel, you have any more witnesses?
I do have my last witness would be developer, Mr. Gomes. Madam Secretary, is Mr. Gomes in the?
Yes, I'm gonna promote him.
Is he in as a guest? Because I don't see a name.
Is he? Let me find out. I see this, I see pay, I'm trying to
Yes.
look at the
He
list here.
declined to be promoted.
He declined, okay. Just 1 second, just give me just 1 second, please.
We're going to go on a 5-minute break at this time. Please be back at 9:30.
Recording stopped.
Calling everyone back at this time. Calling everyone back. My commissioners can return. Commissioner Hall, Commissioner Comisarias, Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Hardesty, Commissioner Ribeiro, Madam Secretary.
Yeah.
Commissioner Covian, you're here?
I'm here.
Just waiting on Madam Secretary.
I'm here.
Let's go back on the record.
Recording in progress.
Counselor.
So good afternoon, or he is. So at this time, I do like to bring the representative developer, Pedro Gomes, as my next witness.
Mr. Gomes, can you please raise your right hand?
Yeah.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, please state your name, spell your last name, and state your affiliates for the record.
Pedro Gomes, last name Gomes, like Sam. I am the owner of the company.
Counselor.
Okay, so Mr. Gomes, you've heard testimony. The reason why we talk about this concept of when you designed this building with this height, you looked at the redevelopment plan and wanted to design that we've been referencing as providing this gateway. You also had an opportunity in looking at the area to determine that there were other existing buildings that either, as our professionals indicated, met or exceed the height. One of them is particular that we discussed earlier in our testimony was the 50-54 Sussex Avenue, the Hoyt building. If you just mention like what was your design concept and this 16-story building?
Yeah, so the Hoyt building is down the street from this property. If you were a baseball player, you could probably sit on the rooftop of this building that we're proposing today and throw the ball and hit the Hoyt. It's literally down the street on Sussex Avenue. We're right off of Sussex Avenue. And the design was to match something like that. What I want to focus on is, you know, a lot of people on the board know me. I've done a lot of projects. I tend to do very good work. We deliver on what we say we're going to do. But this particular one was interesting to me. I've never, you know, decided to name a building after my son. And this one is one that I'm going to be doing because of what it says exactly, right? It's a powerful gateway into the city. And this intersection is what everyone sees when they come from West Orange, Livingston, coming into Newark and going back home or going into the city or jumping on the highway, right? And across the street, when I built the building Arbol, you know, when that was built, I would be at places like Ruth Chris Steakhouse and Shore Hills Mall, and people would be talking about Arbol. You see the new building in Newark, right? So that is a gateway. And this building particularly, and the renderings that you have, you come up from the Broad Street station and you're going uphill, and this is what you're seeing. And what's really cool about this building, and if we could pull up Exhibit A4, it is a triangular shaped building that looks very much like the Flatiron building in New York City. It's almost like you're standing outside that building and Italy, the restaurant, is right behind you. I'm not sure if that's A4, maybe it's the next one here. So you can't see it all the way up, but you have that Flatiron building look. And the interesting thing that I want to put some highlight on is the size of the units are not small. A 760 one-bedroom unit is not small. A 1,200 square foot two-bedroom is not small. Yes, we have some 500 and something square foot units. And the building down the street, like the Irby, they have very small micro apartments. All our apartments are not like that. We have a few that are, but keep in mind that we have more windows than most buildings would have because we have two massive frontages and we're at the shape of the building allows for a lot more light. So I can have a building or I'm sorry, an apartment that's 560 square feet, but it feels like it's 650, 100 square feet bigger because we have so much light coming into it. So I just want the board to take that into consideration. The other thing too that's very important to know is when I bought this building and when the zoning was looked at, it said that this building was in a zone that had no limit in height, zero limit in height. And yet we did not propose a 30-story building. We proposed a 16-story building to be in compliance with what was built literally down the street. And right behind this building, all the buildings behind are about 20 stories, right? 200 feet, 220 feet. So it's not like we're out of character because what we are doing here complies. And this needs to be considered a powerful gateway into the city as the plan states. Almost done. I know it's late and everyone wants to get out of here. In good faith, and I think this goes to who I am as a builder, developer, and my character, I'm going to today, off the back, knocking 2 floors off. The architect represented that we were at 172 feet. We are now going to be at 148 feet. We're going to knock off the 16th floor. That is gone. We're going to knock off the 15th floor. That is gone. And on the 14th floor, we are going to lose 1 unit. It's going to become an amenity space. So our total unit count is going to go from 85 down to 77 units. 77. My son, when he was born, he was 7 pounds, 7 ounces. It fits right. It feels good. This is where I'm going with. And this is a good faith sign just to show the board that I am here to build good products. This project does fit the community. It is appropriate. It is not out of line. Down the street, 15-story building with much more mass. It has 200 and something units. This building deserves to be approved. This is a good-looking building. And
no, if I may, Mr. Gomes, no, if you can show the Google Earth of the image that we're talking about when we talk about, it's also referenced in the planner's report that this is not the top, there are other existing size buildings in the area, that the area has changed, and that there are other similar projects as far as 50 stories that this board has approved. So we just want to give, if I can mark this, I believe this is a 88, kind of show that there is a 15-story building at, I believe, 203 units for that building.
If you could just zoom into that building so it could be seen, that would help everyone have a visual of what that looks like. And that is not on Central Avenue, not in the main corridor, not leading to 280. There's no 22-story buildings behind it. There's no 220 feet behind it. It's independently by itself on Central Avenue. We are actually where it says that this is a pinnacle, powerful gateway into the city and that a dominant, prominent building should be built there. That's exactly what we're doing. We'll reduce the 2 floors. We'll go down to 77 units, brings down our height to 148 feet. The last 2 floors were 12 feet each, as Mr. Musel represented. So when you subtract 172 minus 12, you're at 160. 160 minus 12, you're at 148. That leaves us at 14 stories, 77 units. And listen, I think that's all I got. I appreciate the board's time. Thank you for hearing me out tonight. And I look forward to hearing what everyone thinks.
Does that end your questions and for Mr. Gomes, counsel?
That ends my questions. Thank you.
Are there any questions from the board for the applicant? Mr. Hazel.
Yes. Can either Mr. Gomes or the attorney just repeat what the linear height you were referring to is going down to?
148 feet.
148 feet.
14 stories.
14 stories. Okay, thank you so much.
Are there any questions from any other of the city's professionals? Are there any questions from the objector for the applicant? Hearing none. Ms. Moore, would you like me to go to the objector and supporters, or will you be
I would like you to go to objectors and supporters, and I'll wait for my summation.
Thank you. At this time, we will hear no more testimony from the counselor and her team. We will take statements from the objectors and supporters. This is the time for you to go on record. You will be asked to state your name and your address, and you will have 3 minutes to say why you are for or against this project. I see the objector hand. Can you turn your camera on? I'm sorry, you're on the phone. I apologize. You're going to be sworn in by our attorney?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Plata is going to swear you in.
Okay.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will state the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your address for the record.
Madeline Loprena, Loperena.
Thank you, Ms. Loprena. You have 3 minutes to tell us why you are against this project.
Sure. Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Madeline. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I'd like to bring to the attention to the board that just last year, a project of this scope, sounding the same exact way, was proposed to the board, and it wasn't approved. Right across the street near Arbol. I'm not here to oppose development. Newark is growing, and responsible development is important. My concern is whether 16-story building on a 6,000 square foot lot is appropriate for this site, and whether it impacts the impacts have been fully evaluated. Number one, public safety. A 16-story building qualifies as a high-rise under New Jersey building codes. That triggers enhanced fire protection requirements, emergency access needs, standpipe systems, fire pump supplies, adequate apparatus staging. On a 6,000 square foot footprint, I do question whether there is sufficient clearance for ladder truck deployment, fire lane access, and emergency staging without significantly impacting surrounding streets. I respectfully request confirmation from Newark Fire Department that aerial access, hydrant flow, and apparatus positioning have been formally reviewed and approved. Second, infrastructure capacity. I know we talked about the demands and the residential density, that what's going to happen to the sewer discharge and electrical load. I want to know whether water main capacity study has been performed. Has a sanitary sewer capacity analysis been completed? Many areas in Newark already experience combined sewer overflow and issues during heavy storms. Increasing the density without confirmed downstream capacity could exacerbate the existing problem. Number three, public and traffic, parking and traffic. Parking is going to be reduced, and that impact is not going to disappear. Shifts to the surrounding streets. Existing residents and businesses already rely on limited on-street parking. Increased density without proportional parking or traffic mitigation is going to create congestion in an already congested area. And then also it's going to obstruct emergency vehicles, reduce quality of life for the current residents. Number four, the zoning and scale. 16-story tower foot on this lot represents an extremely high floor area ratio and vertical mass relative to the site footprint. If multiple variances are required, height, lot coverage, parking setbacks, that suggests the proposal may go beyond what zoning districts intended. The board must consider whether granting these deviations substantially impairs the zone plan or creates a precedent for similar applications on undersized parcels. Fire. On this side, there's no room for staging, material storage, operation without long-term sidewalk and street closures. That means that.
You may finish.
Okay. So in conclusion, I'm not against development. I'm asking the board to ensure that fire safety and emergency accesses are fully confirmed, utility capacity studies are reviewed, traffic and parking impacts are realistically addressed, The scale is consistent with zoning intent, and the construction impacts are responsibly mitigated. If the board determines development is appropriate, I would respectfully suggest consideration of reduced height, setbacks, and density adjustments to better align with the building with the lot size of the surrounding consent. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your comments, ma'am. A lot of things you requested is not the responsibility of this board. Each applicant receives a report from engineering, water and sewer, and planning. A lot of things you ask comes from UCC department within the city of Newark, building and code. We cannot make our decision based upon the questions you ask. We have no power to deal with those questions. I'm sorry, we're not able to do that. Those are questions that you have to take up with the Office of Engineering, UCC, and the fire department. Are there any statements from the supporters?
Yes.
Mr. Adulas, you will have to be sworn in.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will state the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your address for the record.
Eddie Andaluz, last name A-N-D as in David, A-L-U-Z. My address is 34-40 Hudson Street here in Newark.
All right, Andalus.
Andaluz.
Gotcha.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that. You may start.
I just want to express my support for this project. I live nearby. I strongly believe Orange Street deserves investment and thoughtful development. This project represents the kind of positive progress that I think the city needs, especially this area. From what I've seen, the design looks great. It fits well within the neighborhood. I don't have any concerns regarding the height. I think it'll help strengthen the area and bring new energy to the community. So I hopefully, appreciate you guys considering it and hoping for an approval.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilfredo Flores, can you turn your camera on? You have to be sworn in now, Mr. Flores.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will state the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your address for the record.
Wilfredo Flores, Flores, 34 Hudson Street here in Newark.
You may start.
Thank you. I just want to say I approve. I mean, I'm for this project. Just seeing and hearing everything about it, I'm really excited. I think it'll definitely revitalize the area, which is already happening. Just imagining also that entryway through 280, which I use all the time, and seeing this landmark as you approach, I think is gonna bring a great visibility to the area. The area is changing in a positive way, and I really like that. And this is just gonna highlight University Heights that much more. So I do hope that this project goes through.
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Thank you for the time.
Madam Secretary, I see no more hands.
Yeah.
You may sum up, Counselor.
Sure. So throughout the
There's one
evening,
raised hand, sorry.
one more person.
I think she just never, that's the call-in, she just never puts her hand down.
Someone raised their hand, renamed Samuel.
I see it now. Samuel Samarco, can you turn your camera on?
Hello?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you have to, can you turn your camera on?
Sure.
You have to be sworn in.
All right.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will state the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name, spell your last name, and state your address for the record.
My name is Samuel Somaro. Last name is Somaroo. I live in 254-270 Orange Street. I moved with my family. I want to express support for this project. I moved with my family a couple years ago from New York City. And of course, coming from New York, I understand that development is very, very important. You see a lot of epic buildings in the city. Saw the same thing in Jersey City also. And I was living in Brooklyn, and everyone was talking about also the Brooklyn Tower when it was built, kind of like defying the One World Trade Center. And that type of development, bring value to the area. So now that I'm living here in Newark, it's to me it's exciting to see this type of project being able to to come to life, because I think this could be this can be the beginning of mark the limit for the city to grow as everyone that lives around here would like to see. So I want to express my support for this.
Thank you, Mr. Somerville. Do you see anyone else, Madam Secretary?
No, there are no more raised hands.
Okay, Council, you may now sum up.
No, just kidding. Now Olivia raised her hand.
Can you turn your camera on, Miss Olivia? You have to be sworn in, and you're on mute.
I know it. Sorry. My name is Oliva Montero, Montero.
Oliva?
So,
Go ahead, Mr. Plata.
do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will state the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, please state your name, spell your last name, and provide your address for the record.
Oliva Montero, Montero. And my address is 286 Highline Avenue in Kearney Ave. In Kearney, New Jersey. I support this project. I do work in Newark, and you actually can see the change, and it fits very well in what area it's becoming. And I do take 80, and I take the Route 21 all the time, and it just looks really good. It actually is changing the area. I think it's going to attract different demographic into the area that is going to be supporting the local economics, and I think it's going to be great. And just one clarification, because I believe the person that was opposing mentioned that it was 16. Mr. Gomes just said that he's going to be bringing it down to 14. So just for the records. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Oliva.
Thank you.
Here, seeing none. Madam Secretary, are we clear?
I think so. There are no more raised hands.
We are now going to allow the council to sum up.
Come on, baby. Come
And
on.
I want to thank the members of this board, the community, those who are in or against this project. And tonight we've repeated a commonality among our professionals. And we started out with this, and I want to highlight this because I think it's really the driving force of when we talk about the conformance with this redevelopment plan and this vertical development due to the irregular triangular shape of this lot that's providing this density, providing this height, where the redevelopment again says the corner of Nesbitt and Orange should be a powerful marker or an entryway with important visibility from Branchard Park and the on and off ramps of Interstate 280. You've seen the design, you've seen the scale, you've seen the articulation. We're asking for the height variance. There was one comment from one of the objector that indicated that we don't meet coverage. We're not asking for relief on anything but the height and really the lot size and the shade trees. We meet all the setbacks, we meet the coverage. We've met with Department of Engineering, Water and Sewer, we'll agree to comply. This is a project that when you talk about the redevelopment plan, it talks about being transit-oriented development transit that would activate that retail corridor along with the Orange Street corridor. And I think this is what this plan is. The height, according to the Grasso test, it's not blocking air, it's not blocking light. These are nice size units. This is a developer that's dedicated, that when he thought this was unlimited height, we didn't go 30 stories. There are other buildings that are being developed at 30 stories. I believe this is a nice height. The density is appropriate for this site. The rooms, the amenities, in the location as being close to public transportation, transit oriented. This is a plan. This is a project that makes sense. In trying to give some consideration, the developer has agreed to lower the scale of the project to 14 units, to 14 stories rather, 77 units, and reduce the height. But this is what the redevelopment plans calls for, making that gateway, making it prominent. When you come up 280, whether or not you're leaving or you're coming to Newark, you're going to recognize this building. And I think this is what development should be. And I would ask that the board grant the approvals tonight.
Thank you, council. The board will now go into discussion. Any discussion from the board? Commissioner Combesayas.
Yeah, I'm only upset he took off the top 2 stories. I think it's a missed opportunity to try to diminish the size of this structure. It's a lot that's not typically seen, and to maximize it, you got to design something that's going to be trend setting for the area. I think Mr. Gomes has demonstrated with the investments he's made in this area and actually built that he is committed to the area. This is going to be atrocious for traffic and parking, but there's also a commitment to the public transit system. If you have a car, you don't move into this building. It's not the building for you. And I think the creative layout, creative designs, this was well thought out. Mr. Gomes designs projects that can be built. I'm glad they didn't come up with a 30-something story building that was never going to get done, go into bankruptcy a few times, and God knows if we'll ever see people in it, right? This is something that he can actually put up, and I like it. I think this is going to be advantageous to the entrance from 280, which is a billboard for that community, right? And that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Combesayas. Commissioner Rubiero.
Overall, I like what I see here. I think the developer is trying to work with this oddly shaped lot. It's a good sized lot for a good sized project. I think it's a good size. In general, he worked on the fine small details about every unit having their simple as washer and dryer. No, he didn't try to take it away. I like the size of the units. In general, I like the project. So I'll be in favor of this. Just to add a small detail, I was born in 77, so that's always a plus. Thank you.
Good one. Thank you, Commissioner Rubiero. Commissioner Hall.
Yeah, I agree 100% with my colleagues. It is a good project. Applicant put a lot of thought into this odd-shaped lot, but it is a beautiful, beautiful building. It says a lot when we're going to be people coming in on 280, see something of this stature coming into our city on the Orange Avenue side. There's something in that building for everybody. There's large apartments and there's small apartments. As far as the parking is concerned, it's right next to the train station, right? It's really designed for people who don't have a car. Somebody may have a car, but this is to use mass transit. That's one of the highlights of our city, being accessible to mass transit. The builder can voluntarily, without being pushed, reduce it to 14 stories, and I thought that was a good thing. But overall, it's a good project. Fits to me. It almost fits in the middle of something, and will look amazing. And I hope it continues west, and become something beautiful and help develop Orange Street. And I'm very happy with it. So thank you for continuing to build in our community. Thank you for not making it overbearing, and thank you for bringing something beautiful. community, pro and con. Thank you also. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. Commissioner Hardesty. You're muted, Commissioner Hardesty.
I would like to thank the resident that came out and spoke and expressed her concerns. I, you know, I hope she feels confident that, our professionals with the city review all of those aspects that she mentioned. And like you said, Chair, that's not before us tonight. I had concerns about that height of the building. I'm glad at least 2 floors have come off. I agree, it may be a beautiful building, but I heard someone say, like, we approve something similar, and what happens is, you know, I'm like the resident. I don't want to start a trend that everyone feels like now they're going to come and put all these massive buildings down when it's not zoned for that. And I heard the lady from, from I think Kearney, and they were talking about it's going to bring a different type of people. And that concerns me as well. I'm all for the new buildings, but I don't know whether all these beautiful big buildings are for the residents of Newark. A lot of them can't even afford them. But once again, just wanted to thank the resident for making her comments, and that we do appreciate people from the neighborhood coming out.
Thank you, Commissioner Hardesty. Any other comments from the board?
Chair,
Commissioner Kamsayas?
for the caller who did have the concerns about the fire safety and stuff, even though we don't vote on that, if she wants to go to B23 at City Hall, they can give her the information. There's a lot of work to be done to fire prep and all that, and it's all in the building code. That's not option stuff. So rest assured there are going to be safety requirements that the city will follow up on.
Thank you, Commissioner Kamsayas. We've heard all the commissioners weigh in for discussion. It's a very, very well thought out design building. It's very well use of a very unique angle on a triangle and asymmetric for building. I was a little concerned, but about 16 stories, because that area, we already have about 6 other buildings that have been built over there. But again, he could have went 35, 30, because there's no height restriction. But the fact that he came and took 2 off, I'm a fan of underground parking. I am. I really am. I believe the city will thrive when we go up to create underground parking. I wish we would have done some underground parking, but we didn't on this project. But hearing that, I think the project is good, as Commissioner Kamasaya said. Where this is located on a major transit area. You have the light rail, you have the regular New Jersey transit line close by. You have several New Jersey transit buses that run, and you have easy access to 280 and 21. So I'll be in favor of the project. Can we get a motion to approve or a motion to deny?
Motion to approve with all conditions mentioned on the record. This is ZBA 25-56 253-261 Orange Street.
Second.
We have a motion, Commissioner Kamasaya, second by Commissioner Jones. Call the roll, Madam Secretary.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Mumford.
Yes. Site plan approval, we need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Counselor,
Yes,
before I call the roll, Counselor, you are aware that this will be a preliminary site plan
yes,
approval.
I am. I will agree to that condition. That is correct.
Call the roll, Madam Secretary.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Mumford.
Yes, congratulations, your application has been approved.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, everyone. This was good. Thank you.
Mr. Plata,
Yes, we have three
do we have
resolutions.
any memorializations?
Three.
You may proceed.
Okay. The first is ZBA 24-08, which is 352, 358, 13th Avenue.
Are there any corrections to this memorialization? Hearing none, call the roll.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Mumford.
Yes.
The second is ZBA 25-07, which is 23-37 4th Street.
No issues, call the roll.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Mumford.
Yes.
The last is ZBA 25-53, which is 982, 984 Broad Street.
Call the roll.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Mumford.
Yes. Madam Secretary,
Yes.
are there any minutes to be memorialized?
Yes, the minutes of the January 29th meeting.
Call the roll.
Member Hall,
Yes.
Member Hardesty,
Yes.
Member Comesañas,
Yes.
Member Jones,
Yes.
Member Rivera,
Yes.
Member Cobian,
Yes.
Chair Mumford.
Yes. Mr. Plaza, is there any reason for us to convene into executive session?
No.
Thank you, Mr.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Mr. Plaza. Madam Secretary, when is our next meeting?
In 2 weeks, March 26th.
March 26th will be the next meeting of the Board of Adjustment. At this present time, this has concluded our business for the day. Can I get a motion
Motion.
to motion by Commissioner Hall? Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second to close the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Ah,
Good night, everyone.
good
night.
Good
night.
night. Good night.
Nice building.
Recording stopped.
David, you moving there?
Like you said, Miss